Freaking
Arya's
dog.
standing at the door, looking out the window of our bedroom door that I'm in, just being like, I am here and you will let me out if there's something I need to get to.
She's like, I hear Finn freaking out. There's someone at the door. Have you seen that? Have you seen that GIF where like there's the dog, and it's like, I don't think you understand. There's someone at the door.
Yeah.
You have floating hands.
Floating hands?
Oh, kind of.
Because you have a green shirt on.
I'm wearing a green shirt. Sweet. It's total accident, but we're going with it. I'm a talking head. Oh, this is great. What? Okay, cool. I always thought about trying that, but I never did it. All right, well.
Oh my god.
Doing it live. We're going with it. All right. What am I missing? Oh, tweet it out. Retweets appreciated.
My dog just laid back down, and then Finn freaking barked again, and she just was laying there and goes, like, I hate you, Finn. Finn barks at literally everything.
Yeah.
Have you guys
and
seen
he's 100 pounds. Like, you don't think that of a 100-pound dog, right? Like a little yapper, maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100 pounds.
Big dogs bark.
Yeah, well.
Any bite to back up the bark, or just barking?
100% no.
100%
Now my
no.
other one, who's smaller, like 70 pounds, she's gained a little weight lately. It's fine. She is the vicious one.
Oh, she is
and
vicious.
She actually at one point attacked Finn. She's never attacked anybody or any dog, but she attacked Finn because Finn like cut her with his collar.
Yeah, his collar had like a jag in it, and it cut her.
Yeah, and it cut her, and she thought he like attacked her.
Yeah.
So she just attacked him and was like going at him and like vicious.
Damn.
And
like,
Finn's just like on the ground, all
like,
100 pounds, like, what I do? What I do? I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I was like kicking at them, and they wouldn't stop, so I had to just go in there and just yank them by the necks apart, and and it was at my mother-in-law's house, and she was like, they would have died if you weren't here. Like, I could have never done that. And I was like, I don't think if I thought about it, if I would have done that, like, it was just reactionary, you know? I was like, oh my God, my babies, you know?
Yeah.
It was like fight or flight. All right.
Arya definitely set her tone as the dominant one, though, to Finn at that point. Never questioned again.
Bob looks like a computer-generated podcast host on the stream. Like someone made a fake person to...
Max Hedren. Oh, man. All right. I just lost my train of thought.
I have to close the stream. I can't even look at this. It's terrifying me.
That's great. I think it's great. All right.
Yeah, podcast.
Oh, that's what we're here for?
All right.
Hell yeah.
This is just for me. Welcome to Warcraft Reloaded, a podcast brought to you by Mash Those Buttons, covering World of Warcraft Classic, now TBC Classic, and its community. I am Bobby, also known as Blazed Bob, and today we're joined by Ryan, aka Cognitive Pit. Welcome back, sir.
Hi, glad to be back.
We're glad to have you back, and we're glad you survived.
I was able to survive and play some WoW while I was sick. Is that wrong? Am I allowed to skip the podcast and be on WoW at the same time?
Nope.
I felt like I was like home from school,
fair.
but also playing video games.
Yeah, I mean,
or you call into work and then post pictures of yourself at like an event on Facebook, and you're like, really?
Yeah, that's where it's draw the line. But I think playing games takes much less than performing on a podcast. I would definitely give you that.
All right. Well, thank you for your forgiveness.
Yip doesn't really perform well, though, so how much would it have changed, really, you know?
And that beautiful voice is Mel, a.k.a. Mellerina. Welcome to the show.
Hello. Gosh, Yip comes back 1 week and I get demoted to second place. I'm just saying.
Oh, man. All right. And joining the show again, special guest Melderon. How you doing?
Great. Thanks for having me on. Really looking forward to talking about WoW.
Awesome. Yeah, it's great to have you on. You've recently stopped making content, so this is the way I was hoping to get you talking about it at least once a month, you know?
Yeah, I really appreciate it because I think it's the perfect amount of getting my feet wet, dip it in the water, or if you want to put whatever metaphor you want to use. Because I mean, we can get into it why I decided to stop, but it's like basically it's run its course, I think, for me personally. But it
Yeah.
was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Well, I mean, and the types of content that you made, the videos, those were just so much work. And I mean, I could see just being like, I just want to play the game, man. And this is something where you just come on, you just talk about it. You know, it's just like the way we do the podcast is just like you're in Discord with a bunch of buddies and just talking about it. So I thought it'd be perfect.
That's why I love this. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, there's not a whole ton in the show. We're going to go over what Melderon's been doing. We'll go over what we've been doing. Then we'll do the news, which is real short. But then at the end of the pod, we're going to discuss Asmongold's recent Classic Plus thoughts and if we like the ideas or if we don't and why. And that'll end out the show. So with that being said, let's get started. Yep, we had a review.
Yes, we did have a
Is
review.
nobody
on
going to
Apple
mention that
Podcasts.
Bob is a floating head right now? Come on.
Yeah, if you
Come
see the
on.
live stream, or I guess the YouTube video, Bob is a horrifying floating head. Will haunt your nightmares.
It had to be said. It had to be said.
What was that movie with Robin Williams where he was a floating head? You know what I'm talking about?
Aladdin.
No, it was
Aladdin.
the Adventures of some. Oh, he was in that though too. That's a good point. But no, it's something like the Adventures of something something something. It was a crazy show. A guy at the start of it gets shot out of a cannon. I don't know. You could tweet at us to tell me what movie that is because it terrified me as a kid.
Please figure it out. But basically, we've liked all the great reviews and comments we've been getting. People liking different parts of the show, so we thought we'd add in a horror genre today with Bob's floating head, so feel free to check that out. But we did get a review on Apple Podcasts. Great show and so funny. Hi all. I figured it out. Hi all. Just wanted to send a review on how much I love the podcast, as you guys make a great team together with a blend of knowledge and fun, which makes my commute much easier to endure. Also wanted to say how much I enjoy when you guys go off script, either from the worst raid ever or the cast where you guys were so tired. It brings a great deal of humor, and I encourage you guys to continue to keep these moments in, as I believe your listeners enjoy it. Thank you all for your hard work and for the Alliance. Fundette on Old Blanchy server. I always appreciate when we get reviews on like different sides of the aisle from the same server. Like,
right.
Like I've seen some horde on Old Blanchy, right?
It's funny because I don't know if you caught the show last week, but I told the Raid from Hell story, and I was a little worried about it because the Raid from Hell quickly turns into just the Night from Hell, and it was just about our night basically after we lost power, and I was like, should it really be in the podcast? And so I was a little worried about that, but
I was like, Raid from Hell. I wasn't participating in that, was I?
It was because Yip was a part of it, but no, it's because we lost power. But I'm glad that he enjoys our off-script conversation because I don't think there's any chance of them going anywhere.
I do have to agree. The one where we were so tired right after we had TBC had launched, that one would freaking cracked me up too. So
that was a little nuts. But thank you so much for your review. Always appreciated.
Definitely.
I also like the name. I'm going to just say Thundette. It's very good.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's a shaman.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I thought so too. But for the Alliance, it's like, did she just roll shaman? I don't know. These are questions that we don't have answers to.
These are questions. We have follow-ups to your review, please.
If you could just make a second account and leave another review with the answer.
It's a good strategy.
Bob can walk you through that process. He does it all the time.
Oh, I love the guy that said, I'll be waiting for you in chat for my payment per agreement. All right, well, Melderon, what have you been doing since we last talked to you?
Well, I guess I quit making content. That was the first thing that kind of happened, and that was a decision that wasn't easy, but it was one that I think I had to make because, like I said, work is getting more intensive. Potentially starting a new job, and I don't know, like it was a combination of a lot of things that just kind of hit me, and one day I just had this gut feeling, and I just was like, I need to do something like different, and it wasn't like the icing on the. I think everyone thinks that everyone quit because of the allegations or whatever. Well, they're not allegations, but
Right.
but that was like the part that kind of tipped the scale for me, right? Because I was really fed up with how Blizzard was handling TBC.
Yeah, I think you're
Yeah.
right. I think a lot of people, especially the YouTubers, were kind of moving in that way just with their prior videos. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. And it kind of was like, Mad Season hit me hard. That one was one that I was like watching. I'm just like, shit, dude. Like he's been around forever and he's played since vanilla, and it's like the boosts, just bringing that kind of stuff into the game was just a lot for me to. And initially I thought it was fine, and then I just started seeing more and more boosted players, watching them in slave pens, watching them in arena. Sorry, in BGs, and they're just fuck. It's terrible, right? And it's just like, and I PvP a ton, so that's all I do basically outside of
Same,
raiding,
same.
So it's like it infuriates me when you're in a BG and someone's not playing like they're properly, or at least trying. Like, I'm not saying you have to be good, but like try. Don't just sit there, And it's just and that just really put a bad taste in my mouth. And it's just kind of like one of those things that just,
something that's interesting is like I haven't seen a whole lot of bots in the open world on white.
None the other vibe. Yeah.
But then I watched Willie put out a video right before the pod came on, and he showed his server, and he's on a PvE server, and there's like 7 bots in each area, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh wow, because like we definitely have them in slave pens, but I rarely run into one in the open world, and I'm guessing it's because it's not profitable for them because the other side can kill them.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I haven't really looked in Skyrim because Skyrim's basically PvE servers, but I haven't really looked at I haven't really been paying attention, to be honest. But I haven't seen like many bots like out in the open world, like you said. But I mean, outside of that, we've been clearing content still. We're getting ready for phase 2, which I think is going to be a way harder than phase 1. I think pre-nerf Vash and KT are going to be a huge rude awakening for a lot of people. I know like guilds on Skyrim have like already been testing on PTR and already been like kicking people out of their guilds because they're not clearing it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I'm talking good guilds here. I don't want to put any names out there, but I'm talking good guilds. So I think people are going to really start to see how tough TBC can be pretty soon. So we're doing all the content in one night now, and we actually went back in the next and finished not TH. We didn't finish in Classic, which has been really fun. And our 5s team just broke 2100 last week.
Wow,
so
nice.
we are
wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
You're
so
raking in the points.
I think I might be the only enhancement shaman that high. I haven't seen many, but it's been fun, man. It's been really, really fun. Like arena is what's keeping me playing, to be honest.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
like it's
What's your
crazy.
composition?
Because
Oh, sorry.
oh yeah,
Go ahead.
we'll definitely go back to that. But it's crazy to me because a lot of people are talking about, oh, there's nothing to do. But I'm in like my perfect world because I like PvP.
Yeah.
And I guess I feel bad for the people that don't like PvP because I'm getting on every day, having fun doing that. Like I'm getting to raid, and like stuff's about to come out. My honor grind, is pretty much over now. I'm like saving up for the next stuff I can get, and like the only thing that I would complain about is just that I was late and don't have all that arena gear piled up, and that most likely we're not going to be able to buy that for honor. It's still, people go back and forth, but like if it's like it was in TBC, season 1 gear was available for honor in season 3, which I think is crazy. I think it should have been. It never should have been that way, because why would you spend arena points on season 1 gear?
Lower gear?
Yeah, it's just like. And
I think it's meant for people who don't get a lot of points and they want to buy something. I think that's their idea, but yeah, from a competitive standpoint, it's like, why the hell would I ever buy season 1 gear? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, someone like me, I don't want to. I guess I'm in a rare situation where I have a 5 teams this high, so we're getting like 1,200 points a week. So that's substantial, right?
Wow.
So like,
we're getting
many people don't
500
have
a week, and we just started our 5s. We're kind of learning. The highest we've gotten is like 1,300 something. But
no, it's good. It's hard, man. Like, arena's not. It's competitive.
Well, I mean,
very competitive.
Half of our team doesn't have, like, I'm the most geared, and I've got 1 piece of Gladiator, 4 pieces of Martial, and then all of the PvP epics, and then stun or deep thunder. But I mean, lots of people just don't have the resilience, and that holds us back quite a bit. I don't think people get it.
Oh, it's huge. Like, especially with a comp like ours, we're a cleave comp, so like we would just eat people for breakfast if they don't have resilience on. Like, it's dead. They're dead.
Yeah,
like,
tell us about your comp.
So our comp's not a meta comp. It's actually, I feel bad talking about it. Not people are going to know where we play, but it's like one of those things where it's like we haven't seen anyone run our comp. It's Enhancement Shaman, Warrior, Rogue, BM Hunter, Disc Priest. So it's 4 DPS, 1 healer, and
that's sick.
It's physical, right? So we are countered by like heavy, like we went against this double mage team that just destroyed it because they're just AoEing us down, right? Like, so we do have weaknesses, but for the most part, we just shock and awe. That's our approach. And our BM Hunter he pumps, dude. Like, sometimes he'll do more damage than me and Al combined.
I hate BM Hunters.
Yeah,
in arena.
It's absolutely insane. But usually what happens is we run in there
5 mages.
Yeah, we've seen that too.
And we were just like, okay,
yeah,
move on.
Like, all MCS, like Novas, like, it's actually our team. There's three melee, so it's kind of like we would be totally destroyed by a team like that.
Yeah,
but it's been kind of crazy. Navik's like our lead, so Navik's the rogue, Al's the warrior, Defcamp's the priest, I'm the enhancement shaman, and then we had this guy Subspace from our guild that's the hunter.
You do have
and
Navik
pretty much leads us. Yeah, like Navik's multi-glad, so he knows what he's doing. And he basically is the maestro. He's like, do this, do that, do this, and we just follow that, and it's been pretty good so far. So we really want to try to get glad. I know it's hard, but like, this is probably my one and only shot, because enhancement shaman effectiveness really drops down once resilience increases. So I think this might be my only shot, because I really want to do it as enhancement. I don't want to do it as any other spec. So we'll see.
Enhancement's the melee spec, right?
Yeah.
I always get confused. I don't know. Enhancement and elemental don't like seem intuitive as to which one's caster, which one's
no, it doesn't.
melee.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not alone there.
Yeah, we've actually had
alliance.
We've had a really good PvPer that'll jump in and coach us too. He'll, like, one of us will stream on Discord and he'll coach us while we're going through. His name's Casabo or Chilbra or Little Chilbra, but he's a really good PvPer, and he's helped us with that too, where he's like, what you need to do is this, and he'll tell us different things where we're like, oh shit, I didn't even think about that. He's like, Bob, you need to focus this guy, but the warrior's right next to you, so why don't you disarm him but still keep on the other guy? I'm like, oh yeah, that would be really smart. Target switching
is, if I learn one thing, target switching is the key to 5s. That's the key. Knowing when to switch targets. That's like it. We skyrocketed in ranking when we figured that out. Like, as a unit. Like, okay, there's a bop, move to a different target. Like, instead of we trying to purge the bop off, we just move, and usually the healer can't counteract quickly enough. We force like ice blocks, we force bops, stuff like that, and then switch to another target. I've learned so much, like, in the past month about PvP that it's like a totally different game to me now. And I want to remark on something you said, like, about like being perfect. Like, I know it feels like you and I are in like the minority, but TBC right now is like the perfect way I like WoW, because it's you go to raid, consumables are dirt cheap, you do what you have to do, and I just stopped my recording. Sorry. what I don't know what I should do now, Bob.
Oh,
I hit the space bar when I moved my hand.
well, here,
Just clap,
here,
and then
let's just do like with you starting. We'll just do one clap. Ready?
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Okay, good.
Okay, cool.
All right, so start that over about the perfect.
Yeah. So I want to remark when you said something that you said, Bob, like about TBC being a perfect kind of WoW for you, and that's like I think we're in the minority because a lot of people don't seem to feel that way, and I don't know, like doing your raids, consumables are cheap. You're done raid, and now you have all this time to do other things, level to alt, PvP. Like I did, I already got honor capped because that's all I did was playing BGs. Like I was playing BGs when we weren't playing arena, got my honor cap done, so now I'm already capped for next season, and now I can just focus on like leveling my alts up to make some more gold. I don't know, like for me, there's no pressure, there's no world buffs, there's no like I just come into raid when I want to come into raid. I just fly to the raid. Like I don't know, I just
like
I feel like everything I do on WoW right now, I want to do on WoW right now.
Yes.
Right?
I mean, I'm having a
And
blast.
I think that's the good feeling, is that I'm not, but I can see if people don't like PvP, that it's not enough for them.
there's not a lot
right?
to do. Yeah.
But at the same time, like, okay.
I would definitely change up PvP a bit to get more people in, but it's still pretty thriving right now. And like, how are your guys' queues now that they turned that stuff back off?
They're better, but it's still like some of them have gone up to like 20 minutes.
So
but I got honor cap before that happened, so I
wonder
really
if their tests like did kind of help out like getting Alliance into PvP and getting like them started. Do you think so? You don't think so?
It's what I've been saying. These whining horde just wanted their honor gear. They took the time that they had instant queues to get it, and now the population of horde PvPing just has to be down. I don't think there's
lower.
I don't think there's more Alliance. I think there's less horde because in reality they just wanted gear. Which is fine.
Well, I also think
that's all I want too.
I also think Alliance were very focused on PvE initially. And I think that now that PvE is pretty, solid for most guilds, that they can focus on not doing their professions as much to get their PvE gear and not grinding as much to, get the money they need to buy their enchants and things like that. And they can focus now a little bit more on PvP.
I mean, that's what I'm doing basically. Like, I really wish I would have paid a little more attention in just getting Blaze and Bob to 70 quickly. So because I really feel bad missing those like 3 or 4 weeks of our arena. Like that kind of really hurts. But I would change some of the stuff like we talked about with like having season 1 gear available for honor in season 2. I just don't see a problem with that. Like I wish that was a thing, but all in all, I mean, I'm having a blast. It does feel like to get more people into PvP, you could make the gear a little bit cheaper. It might help, but like
it is very expensive. Like the pieces, like the honor pieces, like 28,000 for like a leg piece or a head or a chest. Like it's a lot of honor, right? Like it's.
I mean, it correlates to a lot of time. I've been doing 2s with Blunder Hunter in our guild, just like for fun, just trying to burst people down in 2s and sometimes 3s. And it's like he doesn't have his PvP trinket, his updated PvP trinket. It's like, oh, like we should go get that at some point. And then it's like, it's probably gonna take like 10 hours of PvP to get that honor. It feels like a tiny amount, but when you're sitting there and you're just like, wait, this hour I got 700 honor. What am I doing?
Yeah. But I was talking to Navik, who's like the multi-glad, right? And he said even back then, it was like very rare for someone to be honor capped at the end of the season. That was sweaty.
Oh yeah,
like
dude.
Really fucking sweaty. So I mean, again, you were too. Yeah, you played back then.
Yeah, and I found when they like the honor screwed up during pre-patch and they switched it back, I was like, there's no way this is right. So I went back to my old screenshots and was like, oh, it is right. Crap.
Yeah.
In fact, I think we're actually getting just a little bit more. Like Altric Valleys I was looking at were like a good 20 to 30 bonus honor points less in my screenshots than I'm getting now. So I was like, we might be getting even just more. Like, it's just nuts.
Okay, but I think we've brought this up in the past. Sorry, I think we've brought this up in the past where yes, the honor might be the same, but the PvE side of it isn't the same. Right?
Mhm.
So
True.
Yeah, it's
we're
easier.
continuing to put in so much time to get honor on the PvP side, but we're clearing, all the raid content in one night.
Yeah.
And so, yes, now, we have more time to do PvP, but nobody enjoys just grinding PvP incessantly to get honor, right?
No, I
Yeah.
think the normal person wants to do a few BGs a day, right? And it's like, oh, that was
Right.
fun.
Yep.
But not
Yeah.
like me. I remember like one Saturday I did nothing but BG, and it was by the end of it I wanted to kill someone because it's like the combination of doing that over and over again, and then the people who all said pulling their weight in a BG, and you're just like, what is going? You know what I mean? And
Right.
yeah, it's really frustrating. Like, and I'm
And
glad
to
it's
know you could
done.
have
But,
gotten so much more honor if
right.
there were good people in your BGs.
Yeah. Like, or at least like trying to play.
Well,
It's like,
Yeah.
And for
yeah,
people like you and me, like we would probably just work up our other characters' honor, and like enjoy two different, characters. But I think it would be cool to get more people into it. But at the same time, I'm
yeah.
I'm having a blast. If I could stop the people from whining anytime you didn't do their strategy, I'd take that. But
It makes sense to me because I didn't like PvE at all for the first year of actual TBC. All I did was PvP.
Mhm.
I didn't PvE at all. And in my head, I'm like, yeah, you just grind out your gear. Like I remember grinding out my gear. It's no big deal. But then I remembered, like, wait a minute. I was like a WoW addicted teenager
Yeah.
who came home and played like 8 hours of WoW a day. And
Right.
that's all I did. Of course, it didn't seem like a long grind to me then when I was playing these like horrendous hours with no other responsibilities. That's all I did in WoW.
well,
But now it's like, oh man,
and you were just
10 hours.
wowed by you were just wowed by the world you're in. You're like, oh my god, this is crazy cool,
Yeah.
Right. Well, and not to mention that people that went from vanilla to TBC, like even though the raid content might have been easier maybe than Nax, they went from like being in Nax for 7 days a week and not clearing the entire thing to grinding BGs. It was like the same thing. Like whatever. Like I'm doing it
Yeah.
over and over.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing. I think you're right. There's like a disconnect between, and there's definitely a disconnect between arena and BGs. Like you have to do this crazy grind to get to the easier like arena is
Mhm.
easier, right?
Yeah.
As far as
Yeah.
time
Yep.
commitment's concerned, it's like
Mhm.
10 games a week if you want to just do that, or play till you lose. Have fun with the friends
Right.
and
But
people you're
queues are
playing
so
with.
quick.
Yeah, it's boom. It's you're in there, and then the games are quick, and you're like, "Oh, it was a fun game," and you're like, or a bad game, and you either come out with this emotional high or emotional low,
You
but you
almost
have
don't
to
have
do
time to
this
get
grunt
pissed
work
off.
first to get there, which is really stupid. It's like a weird
Yeah.
design.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, I agree.
Yeah. Have you been doing anything else? Did we talk about your alt on the
Oh wait, I
pre-show
wanted to
or
ask
during?
something real fast
Oh, okay, go ahead.
about BG. Sorry, I just remembered.
Yeah.
Um, have you guys so they don't allow groups of 5 or more or more than 5?
They didn't, but now it's back to the old
Yeah.
way, right?
No, the loot boxes are gone and everything's normal
Well, the
again.
loop out.
Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't checked it in a few days, but the last time I checked, like the loot boxes were gone, but we still couldn't queue.
We still couldn't queue for
Yeah.
more than 5.
Oh, really?
We went against like a Nether Sprite pre-made once. Like it was a EOTS pre-made of all people.
Ooh, are they just queuing in together?
Sorry,
Yeah.
Melderon, but we still have pre-mades on Alliance.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
you
we queue at
always
the
did.
same
No,
No,
well,
if we
no.
queue at the same time,
We queue at the
we
same
have 2
time.
groups of 5. If we queue at the same time, we
Oh,
99.99%
okay.
get in the same
Oh, never mind.
BG.
Or
I see.
or we just hide
Did-
and
did-
just cancel the queue, which is
And you guys know about
horrible.
the Discord too, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
And we don't do that. We usually just do it within our guild, right? Like
Right.
trying
Yeah.
to get guildies to come play with us.
To be honest,
Um,
you should really AV Discord if you want honor.
Yeah.
The
For
amount
you
of
Horde
honor
players
you
out
get.
there that don't know, these guys have a Discord that's
Oh,
literally
well,
set up
and-
to set up AV pre-mates.
some horde people have gotten really
We
sneaky.
tried.
And they
tried.
get in the Discord and they're
Oh,
like,
really?
"Hey, they're doing this. Hey, they're doing this," and then they'll actually like get their alliance tunes on there and then screw up stuff too. It's like It's like, you know,
Yeah.
they've got spies moving
infiltrators.
in. Yeah.
I mean, the strat's always the same. It's just if you need all 40 people doing it. That's what the
Yeah.
Discord really helps with. Like everyone kind of understands the gist now. Everyone's rushing right now, waiting on
But for
2
a while,
towers.
changes,
before
though.
the rush, you guys had us pinned. Like it was,
Oh, yeah.
you could not win an AV. It Horde for like a week, solid
Oh
week and a
yeah,
half.
dude, it
That was
was
fun.
sick. We were
Yeah.
getting 600 plus honor every game.
Yeah.
It was 20-minute games, and like literally, it felt good sticking it to you for a little bit because
think
you
it
guys
was
were getting
fun
nothing.
because it had.
Yeah.
I think it was fun because it had happened to us so many times
Yeah.
that I was like, finally.
Yeah,
The
it definitely
meta
was.
unfolded.
Every dog has his day.
Yeah.
The meta unfolded, and it's absolutely even better now. Even if you lose, it's still amazing honor because what
Yeah, it's
everyone's
still
doing
not
now,
bad, yeah.
instead of clashing, they just run past each other. And
cap.
instead of waiting for
Yeah.
towers, like for a minute, we're all waiting for towers or whatever. You drop down into Drek as soon as 2 towers are down,
towers,
and then
yeah.
during the Drek fight, the other 2 go down. Every game is 11 minutes, win or lose.
Yeah,
I
And
mean,
then you
that's
still
how
get
it
all the
was.
bonus honor. You still
Yep.
get like 400 bonus honor
Yeah.
with an 11-minute
Yeah,
loss.
that's how it was before, though. Like that's how, like when I was doing, it was like Rush Truck or CAC, right? Like that
Well,
was
yeah, when
the
it
meta.
first opened up, yeah.
Yeah, and then it went to this just turtle meta, and I said, nope, no, thank you. And then it kind of went back to Rush, and then nobody could agree, and then it went to this like alliance we're killing Horde, and now it's back to Rush. Like I don't even know what the changes are that made it change to different metas, whether it was just more
It's
people
usually
getting
Horde
in that.
adapting to us winning. Like we win in a certain way, and then the Horde undermine it somehow.
Yeah.
And then the meta just like spins around itself.
Basically, we started to. You guys were like rushing into the grave. What's the name of that graveyard? Stonehearth graveyard, right? And then
Yeah.
we started to go up the other graveyard, the one that's on the top of the hill.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then we started doing that, and then like everything broke, and then it went back to rushing again.
What's
it was like this
what's
weird,
funny
yeah.
is with all the with all the AV and BGs that I've played over the last month, I've had to have been in a game with you and just not even realized it.
Yeah, probably didn't even like because honestly, dude, like in AVs, I'm just once you guys got to the point where you were killing us, I would just AFK in the graveyard. Like there's. I'm just gonna get something to eat. Like there's like
I'm
because I just needed marks at that point.
I'm
Right.
curious actually because this has been a new thing for me because I didn't really BG much in vanilla, but your name in game is it Melderon?
It's Melderon, yeah.
Okay, so do you get tells from people in BGs that are like, dude, I love your stuff, man. Thanks.
I do, and shout out to anyone who does that. It really
It's
means a lot to me.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so cool. Like,
Yeah.
and it's something new for
usually,
me.
I'd say it's usually like one a BG. Yeah, I'd say it happens.
Yeah,
like,
for me, it's like one every 3, maybe.
yeah, that's
like,
huge,
yeah,
right?
I
Like
mean, it's
big.
cool.
Yeah. So, wait,
I
so
know,
you're
I
PvP
keep
on
telling
your
people.
warrior, right?
Yep,
Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
on a Blazing Bob. We were in a war song the other day, and I forget the guy's name, but he was like, "Whoa, you're the podcast dude."
Yeah.
It's like so awesome. And then
Yeah.
anytime someone does that, I feel like so like we gotta win. We gotta win. Like
yeah, I know, and then I know they're like looking at me to see if I know what I'm doing, like watching me. And,
yep. Looking at your
Thankfully, I have
stats
really good-
afterwards.
Yeah, thankfully I have a really good fives team, so when I walk in there with all my glad gear, they're like, "Oh my god," you know what I mean? Like, so it's like if I didn't have a good fives team, it would be really bad, right? It'd be like, "Oh god, Melderon has nothing on." Like, you know, it's like, yeah.
Dude, every time
it's
we
great.
win a BG, Bob posts like, "Hey, if you're ever bored,
Oh,
check out
God.
Warcraft Reloaded," right? And every time we lose a BG, nothing.
Yep. Oh yeah, we just slip out of there, quietly into the
I will
night.
say, like, I've noticed, like, maybe it's just me, but I feel like since the boost was implemented and since the majority of people played Horde because, like, ex-YouTubers said Horde's better than Alliance in every possible way, right? So we got all the boosties mostly, and we got all the retail people, pretty much. Let's not mince words here. So, like, I feel like the Horde got all the retail people, and they suck. And basically, I feel like now at the Alliance, like a solid Alliance, like I've seen like really good strategy by Alliance, like they're playing much better than they did in Classic. Maybe that's just me, but like I feel
it feels like that too because I'm at least 50-50 regardless now, and anytime I would respec for the weekend in vanilla, if we didn't play with at least 8 or more people, it was just like, why do I even play
10%
these?
win
Like,
rate,
why do I even do
right?
this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I also feel like Alliance have more time to dedicate to doing BGs now than maybe they did in the past. I mean, all of
True.
us, right? All of us included. Like, we were raiding a lot in Classic Vanilla and in, not really the beginning of TBC, but we're leveling ults and things like that, right? And I think that there's a lot more Alliance that are just enjoying BGs now. Now, yeah, we have the really stupid people.
Sure.
I mean, but
But
they're on both sides, I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
they
they
are.
are.
They are.
Oh, I'm sure. But we also have like Jasmine, who's like, listen, I did the calculations, and when you turn in the flag on EOTS with 2 towers versus 1 tower, you get 10 extra points.
You get 75
10
points,
extra points.
85 points,
And she's
95
like,
points, and then 400 points for 4 towers.
Yeah.
yeah. And he's like, it's not worth it. Just turn the flag in if we have mid, right? And so now that I have that in my head, I know that like those calculations, right? Like the jump from 3 to 4 is nutty, right?
Oh,
But
it's
the jump from
crazy.
1 to 2 and 2 to 3 is not like so big that if you have mid, you shouldn't just cap it and go get it again and go cap it again, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
now that I know that, I just think everybody else is an idiot when they're like, why did you do that? Why would you
Yeah.
turn the
Oh.
flag?
Yeah, it's like so like it's every time I've gotten womps in PvP, it's been a solid Alliance team. Like it's funny because I talked to other people and like this one guy who's always saying like he's an Alliance player and he always says Alliance is so bad at PvP. You guys are always beating us. And I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, I don't know if you've been playing TBC, but the Horde is terrible now. It is terrible. Like and like we were doing the Horde v Hordes now. We had to play each other. And that's the only time I would ever win for a long time. If I went against a Lions team, I was like, we're dead, and they would destroy us, dude. Like wipe the floor with us.
We
But
did
then as we caught up in gear, it's gotten a little bit more even now.
We did
But yeah.
5s last night, but I was like, let's do a Eye of the Storm just real quick before we start. We go in, and we had the squishiest Horde team I've ever seen. I'm sitting here 2-shotting people, and I'm running around with my other boy Steel Wolf, and he's got a Deep Thunder, and we're just wrecking people. We're like returning with 3 towers, and I was like, guys, we just need to push for 4 cap. Let's just end this now. Like, just rip the Band-Aid off. And we just moved in. Like 5 of us killed 10, and it's just like, what is going on right now?
I've been on the receiving end of that many times in EOTS.
Okay, but so many times in EOTS, this is what we have trouble with is we've got 5 people, right? And so we'll go rush a tower, and then everybody leaves.
Yeah, we end up losing like half of our team to defending.
That one. It's just like this circular motion.
The circle, yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
Yeah, and the amount of
full pre-mades are more fun. Full pre-mades are the most fun you can have in a BG, in my mind, even if it's against another pre-made. Because you can be like, this group go here, this group go here, these 3 people go here. It's so annoying to manage 10 other people when you know you can win if they did what you want.
Well, and when you're in Discord, let's be honest. Like if I say Fel Reaver 3 incoming in Discord, that's going to register with you a lot quicker than if I type Fel Reaver 3 incoming. And by the time I type
you're not going to waste the time
incoming,
typing.
Right. By the time I type Fel Reaver 3 incoming, the mage I'm with is dead. And I'm like, well, I'm going to bear form and I'm going to hold it as long as I can. And good luck.
Yeah, I'm just glad, like, I don't know. Like, I'm glad to talk about the people at PvP because I feel like I always vent about PvP and everyone's like, what are you talking about? Because it's like, in the amount of mages and warlocks that blanket AoE a flag and they think it's going to stop the cap. And I'm like, it doesn't stop the cap. Like they'll just put Blizzard on, right? And you'll just see the guy capping the flag. And I'm like, it doesn't stop the cap. Like it's just like has to be a directed spell or like Arcane Explosion or something, right? And then you see these mages blizzarding, and I'm like, it's just I don't know.
Like I wish I could report you for incompetence. Right?
And then the warlocks that are using Seed of Corruption on a group of 2 people. And it's like, dude, you're doing it wrong. What are you doing?
But dude, if I talk about warriors for a second, man, warriors are in 5s. We always say like if we get to the point we're gonna win, and we killed another one at the DPS, and say the warrior's by himself with 2 healers, we just back away because like we just try to hit him from afar because dude, a warrior will F you up, man.
Dude,
And
it's
the
sick,
mace stuns
man.
are ridiculous, bro. The
Dude,
mace
the
stuns are
mace
ridiculous.
stuns, parry
Now try being a
haste,
healer going
it's
against a
so
warrior.
good, dude.
Yeah.
The
I'm
only time
having
I
a
get
blast.
annoyed, the only time I get annoyed in arena is in 2v2 on my warrior. They kill my healer, but I can still kill both of them. It'll be like a
Yes, you
rogue or a
can.
druid,
Yep.
and I start killing them, and then all of a sudden I'm entangling roots, and they're just running to go like heal up. They're just running
I love
away, and I'm like,
doing
just
that.
sit back here, coward.
I love doing
You
that
know
to
I
warriors.
can win.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's, like, my
damn you for
favorite
being
thing.
smart enough to run drink, you bastard.
If I wasn't playing Shaman, I'd be playing Warrior 100%.
Oh, it's
They
so
look so
fun,
much
dude.
fun.
It's
Yeah.
so
fun.
fun.
And it's like it's pretty easy. I've been playing my druid
It
in
is
PvP.
so much
I have
easier
way
than, like,
too many
Locke.
options.
Druid is hard.
Dude,
Druid
Locke
has
too.
so many
hard.
options.
Locke,
I
Rogue,
know.
these are all so
And-
much harder than Warrior. Warrior is, I mean, I'm like the skill ceiling is high when you start getting into reflex and things of that nature. But I mean, it's a really easy one to get into and do relatively well quickly.
Yeah.
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 Let me
and
just
like
tell you, the druid.
Yeah, Drew's hard.
Okay, I'm getting better, but like every time I play a game in arena, I'm like, shit, should have done that. Or like,
Yep.
why didn't I roots that person? Or why didn't I cyclone this person? And usually the answer is because I had a rogue and a warrior on me and I literally couldn't do anything. But
or you're like,
you know, like
why
it
did I
took
put
me,
fairy? What if I put a fairy fire on? He wouldn't have been able to vanish and re-stun me.
But I mean, it took me a long time even to like, and this is just the type of player I am, I guess. It just takes me a little bit, like probably 5 or 10 games before I'm like consistently going to bear when I need to go to bear, or consistently charging when I need to charge. And then I usually go from playing my priest in PvE, then to playing my druid in PvE, and I'm like, shield. Shit, that's not shield. Nope, I don't have a shield. I need to travel form. What? Hold on. But there's just so many options.
I do not envy you. I think that's one of the highest skill caps there is. That
it is definitely
rogue, and I'd say, I think that and rogue. I think are the highest skill caps in arena. I think so.
Well, I mean locks too. Like locks, like just all the shit locks have to do at the start, like bringing out their imp from a fire shield, then like doing their freaking Voidwalker shield right before things come up, and then bringing out the Fell Reaver, and then getting into the fight, and then Curse of Tongues. Okay. What other curse to put on? Like Curse of Weakness. Like there's all kinds of different things that they could do to be really successful.
Yeah, but putting like locks in the beginning, like before pre-fight, is annoying. That's not skill. It's just annoying.
Yeah.
Right? Like
skill.
I'm just saying, like, you have to buff a bunch of things and you have to do a bunch of things. Like, that's not skill. That's just annoying. Like, I'm not saying once you get into the fight, there isn't skill there, but there's so much, like, nobody can tell you exactly what to do too, as a warrior or as a druid.
I would not want to play lock either in arena, honestly. No.
Yeah.
Screw that. I love shaman because you know what I do as a shaman? I run in, I make sure I hit bloodlust. I put that Wind Fury for Ale. And then the rest of the time, I'm whacking people and trying to interrupt. That's what I do, right? So I either ground interrupt or shock interrupt, and I just Wind Fury people into the ground. So I love.
Don't tell Bob that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, oh, you know what? Yeah, you need a shaman on your 5 team, right?
We do need a shaman on our 5 team, but also don't tell Bob just to run in. We've been having this discussion. We're trying to pull back our warriors because we have 2 of them, and they both like to on the bridge one, they both like to charge in, and both of us druids, there's 2 druid healers, which is not ideal, but there's 2 druid healers, and we're both
always.
In stealth.
Sometimes it's a priest.
Yeah, but we're both in stealth and cat, and they charge in, and we have to get up and try to get over to them.
Leroy
and then we get stunned by a rogue,
and
all of a sudden they're dead.
Yeah, Ale's always the first one in, so yeah, he's the warrior, so yeah.
I was super shocked at how quickly Feral Druid came online. If I'm against someone without resilience, I was shocked. I was in a battleground, and I went up to a warlock that was just in PvE gear, and my I don't know any of the names of things. The 5-point combo hit thing, 4.5k damage.
Yeah,
I'm like, I don't even have full gear.
I'll tell you what, I've always been afraid of rogues because they're rogues, right? I've always had issues with being an enhancement shaman. I'm always scared of mages because they can literally just root me forever. But the class that really freaks me out the most is Feral Druid. Like if I see one open up on me, I am dead. Like they do so much friggin' damage.
And
Even
they're
through
so
all my Resil.
surprising.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like because they weren't good before.
Yeah. No, they weren't. They really weren't.
But you're just like, oh, it's a cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, the burst is really fun.
They pump, dude. They do. They definitely pump.
I was playing with a hunter, BM hunter in 2s, and we would sometimes we would lose miserably, but sometimes we would just shred, and they just can't do anything. It's just insane.
I mean, you and a BM hunter can probably global someone pretty. It's BM's really scary too.
Yeah, it's really cool.
I think positioning, we've been talking about, I know, sorry, Bob, we're going to move on.
Yeah, I got to move on.
I can talk about PvP all day, sorry.
But positioning in PvP is so hard.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so important, but it's so, like, hard to get 5 people on the same page.
It is. 5s is basically a mess, but
yeah.
It's finding the order in that mess. I think that's the,
It's too bad you can't come on next week, too, because we're supposed to have Snowby on.
Nice.
To talk about PvP. So that'll be interesting.
Submit your questions now.
Okay, so did you want to talk about your alt at all and what you've been doing, or did we talk about that on the show or in pre-show?
That was pre. Yeah, I got my first character. I got my first alt to 70 today, and I was telling it's a hunter. Pretty good for like just a really good farming alt, basically. I mean, they kill stuff really fast and stuff like that. But so and they're so powerful in PvE. They're great. But the thing is, I got them to 70, and I was telling them like I had enough money to make sure Melderon never had to have a slow mount like when he hit 70 because I wanted him to make sure he had it right away. And this time around, I got him to 70 and I got the slow mount because I was like, I don't really want to spend 5K on this guy, like. And man, is that mount friggin' slow?
Oh, it's like
is so slow.
Like Yip says, it's like swimming in the air.
Yeah, it's all I know.
It's the most infuriating thing I've ever done. Like, especially when you're with somebody who has a fast mount. I remember, like, Bob and I were questing, and I had Druid fly form, but we pooled all our money for Bob to get his epic flying because I had Druid fly form at 68.
Right.
So we were questing together at 68, which was way fun on my end.
Yeah.
I'd be like, okay, meet you there.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, okay, and have to go like
riding down like all
the hilarious
all
for
over
me.
the place.
And then, so then we get to 70 and we were like, okay, well, we'll give you the money to get your epic fly form. And then he gets his epic and I'm fine. And I'm like, okay, well, this is just ridiculous.
Oh, it's crazy how much faster.
Yeah. And it's awful. And I feel like I would rather just do anything else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where are you guys going all the time?
I'm trying to herb.
Yeah, I mean, herbing is a good reason to have an epic flyer on your gatherer.
And
I'll get my flyer on my new druid than I will on my warrior probably because that's actually a gatherer. And my warrior just just goes to raids and stuff or gets summoned places.
Yeah, and I'm getting ready to like drop mining and get engineering along with blacksmith. So I've got to like save up as much money as I can, But once dailies comes out, it's not going to be as much as a problem.
No, dailies are a really good source of gold. Huge.
Yeah, but what have you been doing?
Hi, I got my druid to 70 finally.
Yeah, you've been doing a lot on it.
I powered through. Yeah, I mean, I want to get it ready because they seem good. Although my warrior has just been chef's kiss. It's been spot on. My warriors hit real good. I don't know if it's because I've been playing my druid so much. And in my heart, I'd love just like, I only have to hit swipe. But then going into 25 minutes on my warrior, I was like, oh yeah, it's nice to be like working a little bit,
A little,
I feel like there's some things for me to manage in my tanking. But it's been cool. I did a Karazhan like the day after I hit 70. I off tanked it, and this week I tanked one. Main tanked Prince with like no gear whatsoever. I got like Earth Warden and Clefthide. So druids are pretty good. I'm not even sure I died.
Melderon, a little background. Yip is a warrior tank and has decided that he understands that is not a viable future for him.
Listen,
I mean,
they
warriors
have,
are still good.
they're good, but it's just clear that the druid is gonna be
Druid's going to be better, yeah.
so on top that I just want to have one ready. Maybe I won't switch, Who
Yeah,
knows?
yeah.
I feel like I have a position of power that I could just stay warrior.
I feel bad for the warriors, man.
But yeah, I mean the war. What kind of got me
You should
going on
feel
this
bad
is
for the healers.
True. I always
With
feel
the
bad for
warriors
healers.
are
Especially now
rough
that I'm
about the
DPS, I
healing.
really feel bad for healers now.
No,
Yeah.
from the DPS standpoint, you should feel bad for the locks that are eating the floor because of warriors.
I mean,
Sorry, I
that's
just
your
had
own
to
fault.
just had to turn
Oh,
it
yeah,
around.
It's your own fault.
because of warriors. I have no sympathy for DPS and PvC. So I joined this pug. It's not a pug. It's with another guild. They just needed an off tank, so I joined, and they have this
You're
like
cheating on us?
out of like a stereotype flashcard of a mage was there who was just like, you could tell his whole guild was like kind of a little bit annoyed. He dies like every trash pull, and he's always like, "What can I say? My damage is just so good." And it's like, dude, you're pyroblasting before the tank pulled. Like you pyroblast pulled this mob, and then like he acts like it's like a record, like 20 deaths this time, and it's like I hate this so much. Like,
Yeah, that would piss me off. Inside.
DPS are so
Yeah.
like it's always their fault almost 100%.
Usually,
Oh,
100%.
Oh, it for sure is. It for sure is our own fault. I'm just saying, like, you get used to like a druid, or even worse, you get used to a paladin, and then you don't have one, and you're like, okay, that worked.
Gotta have a
That worked
mage.
last week, and it's just like, oh my god.
But I
Paladin
do
tanks
feel like
are
it requires you to understand more about your comp and more about your like
Definitely,
team
definitely.
than Classic did, right? Like Classic was just like, or Classic Vanilla, I don't even know what to call it. But Classic Vanilla was just like, I go, I do my job, I go home, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't have to know if it was a warrior or a paladin or a druid tank. Like it had
Yep, or
literally nothing to do with what I did.
or like what I struggle with right now, and it's even worse for us Alliance Melderon, is I have to have a set for if I just need to get, if I need to have 5% chance to hit, 4% chance to hit, or 1%
Who's a
chance,
shaman?
chance to miss, because maybe I have a shaman who's not elemental. He gives me 1%. If
Right.
he's elemental, I get 4%.
4%.
And then if not, if I have none, then I need the whole thing. Like I've got all these different. I've got like one piece of each gear, hit and like damage.
Wow, I really feel for you.
Oh, shut
my
up,
warrior
yep.
just has the one set of gear and no additional sets of gear in my
I hate
bags.
you. I hate you.
I just learned how to use item rack because I've been going from PvE to PvP on my druid, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, come on.
You should
I
have been
can't.
a warrior.
I'm like,
Classic.
I have to change it. I'm like, I have to change it in my character set and then change it in item rack. Like, I can't remember to do all this. I can't tell you how many runs I did.
The worst is you
without
get a
my
new piece of
bis item.
gear. Like I got the hit neck that Ahun dropped for tanks for the third.
And you
Midsummer
forget to change it
Festival.
in your item rack.
Well, no, I don't forget, but I'm just like,
Oh, I do.
how does this affect all of my other gear sets that I have now?
Oh.
This one hit piece means like, what else do I need to change?
And it,
on my-
and it
that's
might
more
be
complicated,
different
I get
hit,
it.
you know, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, so if I get rid of the wand and then I put in this, and then I put it, shit, no. But then if I regem it here and then regem, it's just like, it's like a puzzle you're constantly putting together.
Yeah,
but
that
I mean,
sucks.
it's
Okay, never
it's
mind. I'll
fun
stop
at that.
complaining about my
It's fun at the
PvP
same
PvE
time, though.
set.
Yeah, it's fun at the same time though. So I guess I'm complaining about it, but like not really, because it's actually kind of neat to min max it that way, because most people don't, and that's what puts me up higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Gives you the edge.
yeah. Actually, I mean, I
it-
like that about my warrior, being able to be like, okay, for this fight, let's go with this set for this fight.
Yeah, because
As an
I don't
Handsome
want
Shaman,
it
it's
to.
perfect.
Yeah, I don't want to turn it into like, oh, we'll just play retail Bob where everything's homogenized. That's not.
Yeah.
That's. I'm not really actually
Don't want
complaining
to think
about
play
it.
retail.
Yeah,
It's just
I'm
like,
not actually complaining about it. I actually like it. I was just like pointing out that it's like crazy trying to like mess with it all.
I'm glad I'm an Handsome Shaman because we're dual wielding, so we just get as much hit as possible because we go to the 28% cap or whatever. So it's like, well, I don't have to think about that, which is really nice.
Yeah,
but it sucks for Warlock. Yeah, I didn't think about that because you have an extra level of complexity because Draenei Shaman give the 1% hit no matter what spec they are. Yeah.
Yep. It's interesting. Yep. Oh, but yeah, so
Enhancement Shaman should give melee hit.
Yeah,
we give ourselves melee hit, not anyone else.
Yeah, right, well, sucks. Mel and I kind of talked about our week during the PvP talk because I mean that's really all we've been doing. We're doing a lot of arena, doing a lot of BGs. Lock Dude still doesn't have a main hand. Like it's just I'm never gonna get one.
Mind Blade hasn't dropped yet.
It's dropped for most of the people in the guild, just not not in a raid I've been in yet. Although my raid from Hell where we lost power, it did drop there, but I wasn't there because of the power.
Sucks.
We haven't had one of the Gruul swords drop yet. We also for the poor
I haven't seen one of those either. No.
Yeah, for the hunters and melee, we haven't had a DST drop either, which is just horrible.
I was just gonna say, guess what I got last week?
Nice, congrats.
Yeah, man, DST.
Nice. Yeah, I went to one puggish raid. It was like half guild, half pugs on my warrior, and I rolled a 29 on it. And some pug that wasn't even in a guild got it. But it would have been funny if I would have had it over everyone in the guild on an all.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's better for all of us that some random pug has it than Blazing Bob has it on his PvP character. Like we'd be like, I'm bitter about this.
I mean, there's always the chance, like melee gets good, later half. Like there's always a chance of a swap,
Yeah, I have to say right now, maybe it's just because I don't know what it is, but our melee, our melee pump, dude. They pump.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, we've talked about that before and tried to clear up what everybody says. They're like, dude, what are you talking about? They're good. We never said melee wasn't good. We said that the mechanics made it a lot harder on them. And so therefore that's why they were considered not good. Right. But the DPS has always been there. And then once they get expertise, like it goes to a whole new level. And so, but yeah, that's basically all we've been doing. And we're just looking forward to more. We're not going to be playing all this weekend because right after the podcast, we are headed back to Planet Comic-Con in Kansas City. So we're excited for that.
What? I need Warsong Gulch tokens. You need to get on.
Wait, I thought you guys were lying. So you have insta queues.
First of all, we don't have insta queues. No, we have 5-minute queues.
Yeah, it's like 3 to 5.
Oh,
basically.
It's absurd.
Sometimes it's absurd. 5 minutes and 3 seconds. Like a really long day.
Crazy.
But yeah, all right. Well, let's move into. Oh wait, did we want to do raid progress? Not really.
No, but I forgot. I want to do something else. I was in an AV this morning.
Okay.
And some warlock summoned an infernal and prevented us all from getting on our mounts.
Dude, that happened to me yesterday
and too. Then he left the game. Some guy on Pagel. I'm looking at you, Pagel.
Dude, I think it's like a horde. It's like a horde alt. I'm telling you.
That wouldn't surprise me because he pieced out immediately. We couldn't
mount, like, some people got to mount quicker, but I literally just ran and I got all the way over the hill we go to the left. I got all the way over the hill and down to the bottom of the hill before I could mount.
It was a while before I could mount.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, please report those guys on either side. That is so atrocious.
Well, once he leaves, it's harder to report him because you can't just right-click his name. So I wasn't gonna go do any extra
was way too high.
I mean, it was also the first time I'd seen it, so I had a little bit of appreciation. Like, Whoa, like I played
Touche, my friend.
Overwatch, you know, May Ice Wall to block the whole team as they come out.
God.
It was like that, but you're fucking 39 other people over, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, it's actual griefing, I assume, so I wouldn't suggest
Melderon,
doing
can
it.
you get your Horde brethren in check and tell them that infiltrating is inappropriate?
I wish I could speak for the whole Horde, but I can't. Unfortunately, they're mostly a bunch of kids, believe it or not. So
That's fair.
at least that's how they act. They may not be kids, but that's how they act.
Yeah, I think that's on both sides.
Yeah. And for raid progress, we finally had more than one shaman show up to raid. That was nice.
We actually had a
So-
really slick 25-man.
Yeah,
Whereas
we
we
had a
talked about
good-
it last week, our 25-man last week was rough.
Yeah, we're having. I mean, there's just not much to do in the game right now. A lot of people have all their gear for the most part, especially from 25 men. So it's been kind of tough getting people still interested.
Yeah, and with us not being DKP, they're like, "Oh, I don't need anything.
Yeah.
I just won't show up."
We ran with 23 last night. When we were a month ago, we were sitting 15 people a raid because we had too many, and now we went in with 23. So
I think it's the fact that we do 25-man on Thursday too, even though like our Tuesday raid doesn't go the whole time, but we don't want to, I don't know, push everything into one
the
night.
problem is the night that we pushed everything together, we had a few absences that made it so we could only do like 2 Karas or something.
Yeah.
Like, it ended up hurting the Karazans as well.
Yeah, here to tell Melderon. So with the whole 10-mans and stuff in Kara, we stopped doing DKP and we literally just do soft res. We do single soft res on 25-man and then double soft res in Karazhan. And so some people that, have everything they need just don't sign up for raid. And you probably don't have that problem with loot.
Well, we would if they didn't show up, we'd have disciplinary action,
Yeah, but they would show up if they were in loot council because they wouldn't want to lose. They wouldn't want to lose.
I see.
They wouldn't want to lose favor.
They get a negative modifier on their loot list if they don't show up. So our loot list system has a built-in. If they no call no show more than once, they're out of the guild. We don't. I have almost 0 tolerance for no call no show. But if they just don't show up, like, we give a negative modifier unless they have a really good excuse, like, if they're like, oh, listen, my kid, whatever, we're not going to penalize people for that. But if it becomes an habitual thing, we actually demoted someone last week because of that. Yeah. So
dude,
it's funny. We were just having a conversation
because I'm always there on time, ready, like. And it's just,
the thing that
when
really
other
gets
people
to
don't
me,
do it, it fucking makes me so mad.
Yeah. The other thing, all it tells me is that you don't give a shit about anybody else, like, or their time.
Yep.
And I have no tolerance for that. Like, I'm sorry.
Let's be fair to these other people, though.
No. That's what I was
are running our guild way different for phase 1 than we will be. We are not. So normally you have to post when you're going to be absent guild. Right now we're on a sign up if you want to come.
Oh, well, that's
phase 1.
Okay, well, that's
so we're upset about people not signing up, not about people no call, no showing.
Yeah,
although
and
I
didn't realize
that. We have had some of those.
It's funny
because just not signing up.
Yes, we've had a couple sign up and then not show up. Like, I get that, but I think it's funny because we actually had a conversation with a couple guild members the other night where they were like, "So is this normal? Like, are they not gonna do anything?" They're like, "I'm not complaining, I'm just wondering because the guilds I've come from, if you don't show up, like, you're out. Like, there's no tolerance for that." And I was like, I honestly
we
think
basically had to tell Nem it's gonna be okay, dude. It's gonna be okay.
Hey, I honestly had to tell.
It was our guild leader last night.
That's true. I mean, fair, but
one of them, not the main one.
For me, it's like this guild is a nice balance for where I'm at in life, where it's like I travel for work sometimes and I do other things and I can't be there every week. Now, granted, I'm there probably 90% of the time, and I do get there if I can, and I'm not punished for that, and it's still fine. But at the same time, we usually have enough people to clear the content. And if it was a point where we couldn't clear 25-man with 23 people, I'm sure there'd be more punishment to the people that signed up and didn't come, right?
Yeah.
But because we were able to clear 25 man with 23 people, it's like
out of sight, out of mind type of deal.
It's just we're a more casual guild, right? Like we're sweaty tryhards, but we're not like super sweaty. We don't.
Yeah. No, for sure. I didn't realize that's how you're running it. Like you was just sign up. Like that's the
Yeah. That's sure. I just meant like the levels because Bob was getting heated, and I was like, well, I'm all right. I mean, hey, if you don't need gear, I'm okay with people moving over. But I think what people don't realize is not signing up a lot now will affect whether you're main raid or getting benched right away for when we are implementing it.
That's
and
basically
know that.
That's basically what I told Nem. I was like, dude, they notice who does that and who doesn't do that. So just keep that in mind.
It's like performing at a regular job, right? Where it's like I consistently come in every day. This person calls out once a week and we get paid the same, right? And that's annoying, right? But a position comes available above you and you're going to be much more in the running for that position than this person that calls out once a week, right?
Unless they're very charismatic.
Yeah, no.
No. I mean, it just kind of depends.
I think that's why. I think that's why, and we might do this. Is implement maybe some sort of like scaled down DK for like the few weeks before the next phase comes out. Hopefully, they give like an announcement and don't just like launch it on a Tuesday. One day they actually give like a hard date when this content's coming out. But yeah, it'd be nice. So. We might do like half DKP if you sign up for both nights, so people can start earning and feel like they're on a consistent schedule again. Because we probably will need both raid nights for a little bit for the content coming out.
Yeah. And we'll probably need to like change up the raid compositions a little bit depending on fights too, which at least in the beginning,
We also don't have set teams, Melderon. Like we have like 10-mans that run, but they change every week. We usually have 3 10-mans that run, but they change every week on who's in them.
Ours don't change fully, but they change like partially. So like the same officers are in them and same tanks, but sometimes we switch around DPS. Yeah. But we're going down to 2 Karas this week because like we have a lot of people that don't need stuff out of Kara anymore, so we're only run 2 from now on until the end of the phase.
Which is okay, right? Like we know it's going to jump up in the next phase, and like give people a break if they want a break.
Yeah, like I want a break personally. Like I just like if I'm not going to need, I need nothing from Kara. Like, I mean, the thing is, I'm a shaman, so they're probably going to need me because like you want to have as many shaman as you can, obviously because of bloodlust. But if I can get a week off from Kara, I'll take a week off. Just
right. And if you don't need anything and it doesn't affect other people getting things, then why not be able to take a week off, right? Even if it takes them 20 more minutes to clear the content because they don't have an extra shaman, like that's okay. It's more so I feel like when people aren't signing up and then it affects 9 other people that can't clear the content. And get the gear.
Well, I mean, that's what like last week came down to. Like we still want to do 3. We're missing a lot of like vital pieces for people. So only doing 2 means that you're missing out an entire raid of loot, right? Like Skulkers, Greaves, the Prince Dagger, like those sort of items where it's just like we have so many people who want them.
The Prince Dagger doesn't.
And we're usually able to fill it in with ults, right? Like if
we don't have a problem.
Don't have enough
stagger them. Yeah. It's usually not a big deal. We've always been running. We're actually really running 4 of them at times before, but they were just like underground, there'd be 3 or 4 pugs or something. So,
All right, well, that was a long. What have we been doing this week? So that's actually the PvP talk was really cool.
Yeah.
So
I love PvP. I can talk about it all day, man.
Yeah, PvP's been great. I mean, even while we're PvPing, all I can think about is like, dang, I want to get my mage up now. Like, we'll see. You go against 2 mages who just palm pyro you for 5k each, and you're like, I gotta level my mage.
Yeah.
I have 0 desire to level my mage. My mage is 58, and has been 58 since I leveled him like way earlier on in Classic, and I just have. The only desire I have to level him is so that he can make better water.
Yeah, I've got like a full rest level 60 mage, and I can level them in slave pens with the little wall trick, easy as pie. I just don't want to. I can make a bunch of money doing it too. I don't like
hate the mage.
I just don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not really into mage. I used to be in the mage. I played mage in TBC originally.
Did
I
you?
just don't like it anymore.
Yeah, my very
Not my
first
thing.
level 60 was a mage in vanilla, but I quickly moved to rogue. Like there's something about the mage I just don't like. I don't know.
Yeah.
I love to say I'm a pacifist, and that's why I play healer, but that's not true because I really like to shadow or death people on my priest. I really like to moonfire people on my druid. So I'm not a pacifist. I like when I play a class that I can't heal myself, I am so lost. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, wait, hold on. Like,
Yeah. I was playing my 100 today, and I'm like, oh, I'm at 25% health. I'm like, I should probably heal. I'm playing 100. You know what I mean? It's like,
It's like, okay, what do I do? What do
Yeah.
people do in these situations?
Use a bandage. Like, come on. Like,
Yeah,
yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Got a cooldown. Get out of here.
Oh man. All right, well, let's move into the news. So the news is real quick and short and sweet. We're going to talk about it in discussion, but just to let people know, there is a Classic Era PTR out now, and I guess we could talk about like, do you think this means they are getting ready to put it in, like they're getting ready to relaunch Classic in vanilla form?
I think relaunching a PTR when Phase 2 comes out is a bad idea. I'm guessing this would
weird,
probably
right?
come out. Yeah, I think it would probably come out in the transition between Phase 2 and Phase 3 in TBC. In that dead space, maybe. I don't know. It's weird, right? Like, why are they doing it so soon?
Yeah, I don't know.
I agree.
Actually, I know why they're doing it so soon because they're below 2 million total subscribers now. I just watched.
Aren't there
Melderon's
new
video
private
about that.
servers?
I thought it was
Yes,
maybe
there is
a
a
new
new
private
private server.
That's why
they
they're
forced
doing
it.
That too.
That's why they're doing it because there's somebody else getting their money. And they don't
Yeah.
like that, which is fine.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Like, if
Yeah.
somebody else is going to do it and they're going to profit off of it, you should do it yourself because it's your game. And so I agree with that. Although I think, I don't know. For me, anybody that wants to play Classic Era Plus or Classic Era is one type of person.
Yeah.
In my realm, I have no desire to go back to Classic yet. Right? It took me
same.
10 years to be reluctantly brought back to Classic. Okay.
I was going to
didn't
ask you.
play
The big
private
question
servers.
is, like, are you guys like ready to go back? That was my
No.
question.
No,
Yeah.
not
No.
even. I'm having my best
Even
life
if
in TBC.
even if they took out world buffs and
We'll get to that discussion.
Yeah. Okay.
When we talk about
no.
Asmongold Plus, but still probably no.
It's just
Alright,
too
yeah.
it's too new. Like, it's too recent
Yeah.
that I can't imagine I did that content for so long, even if it was slightly different. I'm not at a place to do it again.
Well, and I got almost everything, BIS, almost everything. I mean, I guess I didn't get KT Weps, but I don't care. Like,
I did.
Yeah, keep telling yourself you don't care.
I
Bob.
don't. Like, I
No
literally,
THC?
like, I literally decided not to even roll on them. Like the last 4 weeks, I was like, there's no reason, like, to parse one time, maybe.
Yeah, I didn't want my Thunder Fury either. I agree.
That would be a little different. Like if I was going for Thunder Fury, I would
Gibbs
have
going back
definitely
for Thunder
wanted
Fury.
that.
Yeah.
Now I am sad that I didn't get my Might of Menethol and get to level with that because I did level Blazing Bob outside of dungeons in quests and did a lot of PvP, and that Might of Menethol would have been sweet. So
Dude,
I
that
do
thing
regret
slaps.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't like. I got mostly everything. Did mostly everything in the game. Like I wouldn't do Scarab Mount, so I don't know. Like it's just, it's too soon. And like honestly, for me, it'd be after Wrath that I would think about it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Basically, is where I'm at.
I can totally see the perfect time to launch this in my head would be like 6 weeks after Black Temple comes out, because Phase 4 is just Zilliman, so there's going to be a really large amount of content not going on, right? Like once people are bored of Hyjal and Black Temple, then there's going to be nothing to do. Then Zilliman will launch. Everyone who's been doing Black Temple will do Zilliman the first time they go in there, and then they'll be bored again. So I could see like sometime around then being a good time, but not like Not
but I don't
before
think they're
then.
basing
I
this
don't
on a
think they're.
good time. I think they're basing this on the fact that other people are making money on this exact content right
Yeah,
now.
I think they're
And
not.
Yeah.
This isn't for us. I think this is for the private server Andes that just literally want to play vanilla and vanilla only over and over again. And just looking at the YouTube content creators, there's a ton of those people, that just love that. Like I've seen so many people, Hamster Wheel and all these other people are like, I went back to vanilla. Even Josh Corbett, from Countdown to Classic, like he's been enjoying vanilla because that's what he loves. And so I think
Right.
it's like I think they're catering to, just a different group of people, and there's thousands of people playing on that new server, so that's thousands of $15 a month.
Let's be real. They're not catering to anyone. They are capitalizing on people that want something because they see that it's happening outside of their realm, right?
You're right.
So if there is enough people doing private servers that they would be paying a subscription in WoW, then let's do it. Also, they've got some little like makeup things they got to do right now. So let's focus on the community that we can think can bring us the most players, right? I'm not trying to minimize what they're doing. I'm just saying I don't think their motives are as nice as you may have portrayed, right? I think their motive is this is a market that we can get, and we have the data to show us that this will get us this many more subscriptions.
You're right. So they're not catering. What they're
No.
doing is putting out a pig trough for all the. They're laying out all the slop back into the pig trough for all the pigs to come back and eat from.
Right.
Wait, you left me to go to a private server? Here's your slop. Come enjoy Classic Friends.
And like, how much is it going to cost them to do a fresh release Classic server? Nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How much is it going to cost them if they continue to lose all of these people who go to these private servers? A lot. And I think this Classic Plus idea is interesting. I don't think they should release that until closer to where Yip's timeline was, right? Maybe they just release Classic Fresh, just completely Classic Fresh servers
with the
right
Chrono
now.
Boons, basically.
Yeah, with the Chrono Boons and like
last changes they made. Yeah,
a couple of the major changes that we think were
Barbershop.
very much so needed.
Barbershop.
But like the barbershop, 100%.
Oh, Melderon, we had Steelwolf come on ask for the barbershop. We were like, dude. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Sorry.
no man, no
people that want
barbershop,
it.
no barbershop. No changes. No, I'm just joking.
Right? No, but like, yeah, so there are definitely they're targeting a specific crowd. It is not the crowd that is in this room right now. I don't know of a lot of people, and I have a minimal view, so there could be a lot of people, but I don't know of a lot of people that are going to want to do classic vanilla and classic TBC at the same time.
All right, I'll tell you right now. If they release Classic Fresh, I will play it.
Wow.
Will you stop
okay.
playing classic TBC?
No, I will play it very casually, and I will play Alliance this time.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
coming over to our side. All right, I'll take
So
it.
I'm gonna play Human Warrior, really bad. I want to tank. I want to get Thunder Fury. Like I want to play the warrior life. But the thing is, like, it has to be some stipulations. There has to be some changes to the game. Like if they just release it the way it is now, even with the Chrono Boons, I don't think I'm in because I hate the World Buff meta. Like I really do, and I know that some people love it, and it makes for some awesome stream content, like world firsts, speed runs. I love watching that shit. I loved watching that stuff. But
oh yeah, I would definitely be watching some streamers play it. I just wouldn't be playing it myself.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I feel like I say that now because it's tier 4 and there's literally nothing to do. Like all I have to do right now is go to raid every week and do my arenas. Like that's all I have to do. So maybe it's because I'm in a lull. Maybe I won't feel this way in phase phase 2. Maybe tier 5 is going to be hard enough that I'll be like, wow, this is really engaging.
Okay, well that's
Okay, but what I
that's
will
a good
challenge you
point.
with-
The people that don't like especially the PvEers that don't like PvP, maybe they can tackle both at the same time.
Not
Okay, but what I want to challenge you with is, Melderon, you're not their target audience either, because you already have a subscription.
True.
And you will continue to have a subscription, whether they make changes to Classic Plus or not.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And so their target audience right now is only the people that want Classic Fresh servers. And what do we know about the people that only want Classic Fresh servers?
Well, I can tell you that it's one of the biggest. Like whenever a fresh Classic private server dropped, it was huge. Like it was huge.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest thing
That's
that
what
happened
I've
in the
heard.
private server scene. Yeah.
Right. And
I don't.
so
Yeah. Not sure what you're
they're trying to
insinuating,
get
but yeah.
those people, right?
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
trying to get those people back to play on their servers. So I wish that they had a way to have a forum with those people about what they want.
Yeah.
Because that's their goal. They want to get those people
it's a
back to
very
Blizzard.
good point. All they do have is a Discord with a whole bunch of retail players and a handful of actual classic fans.
Yeah, and it's just what is bringing. They need to identify what is taking people out of the Classic Era servers, which still to me is mind blowing that that was ever a thing. But I think it was a placeholder for what they wanted to do with it to make. They just couldn't focus on it right then, right? And they didn't want people to think that it wasn't ever coming, right? So I think that was their goal there. But now they need to focus. They need to look at their audience, and their audience has to be right now the people that do not have subscriptions or that are going away from their subscription, right? The people that are fading, that are like, no, I don't want to pay anymore, right? And I know that sounds really like businessy and whatever, but it's not. It's just common sense. You have to cater towards your audience. And so what can we identify that the people that aren't playing TBC right now, that aren't stopping to do what they're doing, because it doesn't matter to them if they go from Classic TBC and revert back to Classic Vanilla, like that has a zero effect on their profit margin. It matters to them if they come new or come back.
Yeah.
And so how do we get
You're
those
absolutely right.
Yeah.
And I think Classic Fresh could do that because like that journey that Classic offers, like that vanilla journey is enough for me to think about it. Like just starting that character in Goldshire or Duratar, seeing Stragon Thornton Vale again, like all those like there's this pull that vanilla has, and when you say fresh and everything starts over again, it just pulls people back, man. It has for years on private servers.
And I mean, honestly, there's so many content creators saying they have to change a bunch of stuff, but maybe they don't. Maybe they just have to put it out, and there will be those guys that just want that no changes fresh. But
their problem is they're polling everybody that's in their system randomly, right? So they say. But they're polling everybody that's in their system. They need to narrow their audience size, and they need to poll the people that actually care, that don't subscribe anymore, or that are thinking about not subscribing anymore. So put something in your list to say, are you a current subscriber? Yes or no. Do you currently play TBC Classic? Did you play Vanilla Classic? And then filter your results that way to understand what those people that aren't subscribing anymore that want Classic Vanilla really want. That's the way you're going to get your money.
You're absolutely right. And I think it's safe to say that if they did release Classic Fresh, the Classic Fresh community and the TBC community will be larger than retail. I think the only reason it's not right now is because I feel like they're below 2 million active subscribers or whatever. Like that's the lowest they've been since I think inception of the game, or no, it was WAD or something like that, right? So like that classic community now, I think you're seeing it. Like the classic community has potential to be larger than retail if you have Classic Fresh, and I think if they bring that out, what I've said for years is going to happen. The classic community is going to be larger than the retail community because it's just a better game.
Yeah,
it is in every possible way. Like it's, I don't know. It sucks for them, like as a developer, like wow, this 15-year-old game is outperforming now 17-year-old game is outperforming all the stuff we've done. But it will because it's
But
a true
how much
MMO.
does it make those like
at
old
subscriber
developers
count,
smile? Right? Like
we
they're like,
don't have
ha
the
ha ha.
cash shop numbers, right?
No, so I don't
So
think Classic would ever beat that.
yeah,
like,
so
Classic would
that's
never beat that.
I don't know if they're gonna get a comeuppance
Yeah.
as long as they got whales over there spending like a ton of money on the cash shop. So they still do make a ton of money off retail.
All right, well, let's just move into discussion where we have a hypothetical thing to talk about. So with that said, let's move on. Discussion. Okay, so discussion this week is just about Asmongold's list of changes he'd like to see in a Classic Plus. He said that I don't want some changes this time around. I don't want no changes. I want all the changes. And so he came up with a pretty like comprehensive list of like changes. And so do we just go like through it like one at a time and then just kind of
Can I say something first?
Go.
Yeah.
So Asmongold has stopped playing WoW, right?
This is a point that I want to bring up too, Mel.
On streaming.
I'm glad you're bringing this up. Yeah.
So he's stopped playing WoW. He's stopped streaming WoW. So my whole argument about you need to cater to these private server people is kind of null and void when you think about Asmongold, what he can bring, how many followers he will bring with him if they get him to play again. And I think that that's unfortunate in a way.
They got to cut that off.
Because
they're in a toxic relationship with each other.
That's a perfect way to say it.
They've given Asmongold way too much power. And not given it to him, right? He's taken that much power. And my fear is that they will look at this and say, this is what Asmongold thinks. And they're not going to target the same community with Asmongold's ideas. Whether I agree with them or not, it's a very different community than the classic fresh community that's on private servers right now.
Yep.
In my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know that that's true.
I would agree with that assessment and guess along with you that that is true.
I had a different take. I think you're going to somewhere else, but this might sound screwed up, but okay. Let me just be clear. I love Asmongold. I think he's a great guy. I've talked to him personally. He's a great dude. I think he's one of the best streamers out there. On a personal level, he's an excellent person. I think he's very smart. But I have an issue with him commenting on WoW because, in my opinion, he abandoned the game, and I feel like he doesn't really have a place to talk about Classic because he didn't play it like we did.
Yeah.
Like everyone in this room, we played the shit out of that game. We, we lived and breathed it. We were part of the guild. He is he's a tourist, and I hate to say it, but him coming back to the game could bring a lot of people back, but I just feel like he's going to quit again and he's going to do something else. And I just want people to realize, like, I don't know if he's the right person to be making these statements because I don't think he's going to stick around. And I think a lot of these changes are a little bit too retail-esque for me.
They are so retail-esque.
Yeah.
Well, and I also think on your point there, Melderon, like he did leave, and the people that he's going to bring back, kind of along the lines as I was saying, like the people he's going to bring back are not the people that are committed and passionate about the classic game. There are people that are following Asmon. And as soon as Asmon leaves and as soon as you piss him off, you're going to be down all those people again, right? So you have to look at the long term here.
Yeah.
There was a lot of people that played private servers before Asmongold existed in the WoW Classic community, right?
Yeah.
And so focus on those people.
I agree, 100%. Yeah. And like I said, I love Asmon, and you can say the same thing about me. Yeah. I abandoned the game by not making content. Sure, you could say that too. But I still play it every day, right? So like I have a vested interest in how it goes. And I think he's, like I said, I can't say enough good things about the guy. I really think he's a great dude. But like I just think that he's stepping over the bounds a little bit on this one for me. Like you said, he was never part of the classic movement before the official game came out. Yeah. He didn't even You know,
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I think for all of us on the pod, like we disagree with things lots of times, but like we still love each other, like each other. Like it doesn't like you don't have to agree with everything you've said. You don't have to agree with everything to be friends. In fact, it's good to like disagree, healthily.
Challenge each other.
Yeah, it's like so. Let's just get into his stuff, and we'll see. We'll see what we think. So first thing is,
okay, wait. Am I allowed to? Sorry, I need the rules because you get really mad at me if I don't, if I interrupt. But am I allowed to, like, as you go through these? Because there's so many. There's no way we can go through them all and then talk about them.
No,
so like,
I'm gonna go.
okay.
I'm gonna go one at a time. And
so as you go through them, I can interject and say like, "That's stupid," or "I love that."
Oh my god, were you afraid he was just gonna read every single one on here?
Yeah,
and then
I
open
was.
discussion.
I was.
I was. Oh yeah, so
I was trying to do that in a nice way. I don't know. If that came
All right, so we'll do Micro Machine Man. No, okay. So no mage boosting. Alternatively buff all other XP by 3 times at least. Boosted further on alt. So once you have
absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
But
the whole part of vanilla is the journey.
I do agree with no mage boosting, but the rest
of it,
100%
with that. 100% with that. Yes.
The rest of it, no bueno, and I think no mage boosting is easy. If there's a 10 level gap, like then you just get easy. No XP. Like
that's what I put in that stupid
okay, raise your hand. Raise your hand if you boosted a character with mage boosting.
Well, of course we all boosted character. Well, did Mama never boost a
character? So we never boosted a character.
Right.
Totally.
I just said I did it.
We boosted like during the Alliance lulls, which if you don't know what that is, Melderon, like there's a lot of lulls in Alliance leveling that we have heard is not in Horde leveling. So there's like 40 to 50 is like a real slog because you run out of quests.
This happens to line up with Maradon so well. What else could I do but head on down to Maradon?
So, I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying.
Yip go? We just lost.
Yeah, Yip just said, peace out, guys. He's like, forget this. Boosting's fine. I hate you all.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. So... yeah, like we definitely boosted some. We didn't boost our first characters, and we only boosted partially with our other characters. But yeah, we did boost.
And to be honest,
that's fine if you did. I'm just saying, like shouldn't be allowed.
Agreed.
And I agree.
But here's my take. I don't think it should be allowed, but I think the only reason we did it is because there was such a lull in content because we were clearing things so quickly, and we needed farmers to make us money.
Oh, it makes sense.
Boosted our mages.
Oh, it's logical. It's 100% logical. I'm not saying it's not. I was the first to say that it's. Why wouldn't you, right? Like,
right.
But like for me,
but if the option wasn't there, I agree. I wish the option wasn't there because I only took it because the option was there, and I was like, and honestly, Bob took it for me more often than I took it. I said I want to level this character so that I know how to play this character. Because when you get boosted, you don't know all of your skills and how to play your character in different situations, and that's what infuriates me, right?
Well, and Kim Jong-un points out in chat that like it basically
Kim
made
Jong-un
it so.
In chat? Wow. Sorry.
Kim Jong-un.
Okay.
Yeah, he's K-Jom in chat, but yeah, he's a guild. He's been on the show a couple times, but he points out that there's no. Because of mage boosting, there's no dungeon groups. So if there was no mage grouping, Mel and I would have done dungeons. But there was no dungeon groups.
I mean, none of these are arguments for mage boosting. I think we all agree. Mage boosting is functionally the same as a paid boost, but your money's just going to bots instead of Blizzard.
And you have to watch your own time. And you have to watch Netflix or YouTube while you're waiting and.
Yeah, but even outside of mage boost, like I know mage boosts are like like we're all good for mage boost. If you even on my warrior, if I go to Scarlet Monastery with 4 guildies, if 4 guildies get to be AFK while they level, like the added workload altogether is I'm just like leveling. I'm the only one doing work, and 4 characters are leveling at the same time. It's still an unfair advantage, even without a mage involved. It is like you're still just getting boosted really easily.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I won't go into the reasons why I think it's bad. I think everyone knows that. I think it's a rite of passage. It's the way the game was built, and I think that on private servers, like I played a lot of private servers, you would get high level dungeon groups pretty quickly, and that was the best part of playing private servers was because I would get a dungeon with people I didn't know and hang out because they're so epic and so long in vanilla. Like you just Mardon takes so long, and
I loved most of Classic, but that's the thing I loved the least is that my alts just did not get to experience dungeons in the right way.
Yeah.
And there was no opportunity for me to do it, period.
Can we all agree that one of the best things about Classic or vanilla is the fact that you're forced to engage with other people and make relationships with other people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Because
I think all
I think
of us have thought that.
That is something that has every expansion been reduced. That effort level to make social connections and everything has been reduced. And I think that, yes, you could do this Classic way in retail, and I don't play retail, so forgive me. But it's still like if you're not going through the trenches with people, and even if it's 5 people, but you all have the same motive and you never see them again, you connect with that one person that you're like, you're really good. And I want to keep you on my friends list, right?
Yep.
And I think that is the experience that I did not get with my boosted mage, right? Because I sat at the beginning of Moradon and waited for a mage to kill every mob, and then I went and looted, right?
Right.
And that's not what I'm looking for. That was a means to an end.
I mean, to be fair, the looting was pretty fun, though. I'm not gonna lie.
But it wasn't the Classic
and then
experience.
you're like tailoring while you're waiting to get boosted.
And that is not. But you see, what happens is that people that come in, like we did that, and honestly, I think that's fine for your second character. Like whatever, I'm not against that as long as you know how to play the character, which I didn't know how to play the mage. But I think for people that come in and start to play the game, their initial expectation now is to get to 60 as quickly as possible. And you have to do these mage boosts. And then we're setting these players up for either you're not going to have anywhere to make connections because everybody's in these mage boosts, or you're going to have to do this, or you're just going to level very, 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 very slowly.
Well, the problem comes down to is when you invite your friend to play World of Warcraft with you, you want to play with your friend, but you don't want to go level another character. So you tell them to do mage boosts so that they can raid with you.
And we've all done that, right?
Yeah, I mean,
the 3 of us have done that.
I haven't.
We've got 90 of these to get through, so
I think
we all agree.
So the next one is Boob Slider. Now, I do think it would be hilarious for a night elf to be walking around with some double Ds. Now, that would be hilarious, but
do you think
I don't think it would actually look good.
Do you think that in the way that Blizzard is in the wave that Blizzard is in right now?
Yeah, there's no way.
Adding a boob slider to the character screen is
sound weird.
Remotely a possibility.
Well, they would have to add a
It's going to sound weird,
slider.
but I agree with this. But not just like a boob slider,
but
they
like
just have
hips,
to redo
belly, everything.
No, okay. Well, I just mean they need more character options. Something I saw a lot of people complaining about is like, especially when you compare it to retail, like being a non-white human, you just look ridiculous. Like there could be a lot more character options allowed. Now sliders are weird because I don't think even retail has sliders. But if there were maybe more options, I don't have a problem with that.
If I could be Fat Thor, I would do it.
I don't want to. You see, that's the thing is like I don't want body types like that because it won't look like WoW anymore. If it doesn't look like WoW,
that's where I'm
gonna be in Uncanny Valley, and that's the problem with Classic is like.
Okay, but you understand too the hit box of character models is different based on their class and their race, right? And so to put in different like areas that you can modify that kind of adjusts the way that we have to think about hitboxes.
It honestly, every game like Star Wars Galaxies had a bunch of sliders, and it was the weirdest thing because when you'd have a super tall character standing, like same human, super tall, standing next to a super short human, it was the weirdest looking. Like it just didn't. Like you would have to put so much work into this to actually make it look good, and I don't think it would ever look good. I think that's what set WoW apart from the MMOs before them, because Dark Age of Camelot had the same thing. And like any smart PvPer is going to choose the smallest option. Like I think WoW did it great the way they did it in the first place. So
I think it's actually regressive game design. I think it's not great. I think those little differences make the game more interesting. I think like playing other games and having like a complex character design is, I think, a good thing in general. It's just when you're talking, for me, when I'm talking about playing classic WoW, I feel like things should just look relatively the same. That's the only thing for me, is that I like playing retail now. You log into WoW, it doesn't feel like I'm playing WoW. I'm playing some other MMO that has like some remnants of it.
What if you do it like what was that game where Fable 2? I remember I was playing Fable 2, and all of a sudden I noticed my character had this huge beer belly. I was like, what is going on? Does my character have a beer belly? And then I like Googled and found out if you eat the wrong types of foods, you get a beer belly. And so you have to eat like cucumbers and stuff to get rid of your beer belly.
Yeah, let's just make WoW a survival game.
Oh my gosh. But no,
as far as I'm
think
concerned, that stuff is it doesn't mean anything to me. Like it's just like, I don't know. Like for me, it's like the character models are sacred as far as I'm concerned. Like all that stuff's the art assets are sacred. Like that.
So Bob has always said that he's down for the new character designs, the retail ones, if you can turn them on just for yourself.
No. Okay, Melderon, I don't want to turn them on. I've said that if other people want it, make an option that you toggle it on or off, and you see. So if if somebody wants to see the new ones, it doesn't affect you at all.
Yeah, I think I don't know. I've seen the new character models. My God, like the Tauren one looks like he's gonna fall over when he runs. Have you ever seen
I just hate the way they run, dude. In retail,
a lot of them look like they're gonna fall over.
They're so goofy looking, man. It looks like Disney to me. Dude,
and the gnome run where he's like his head's backwards and he's just going.
The bounciness of the running is just it's for me, it's that uncanny valley. I'm just like, what is this?
Yeah, like I don't think anyone I don't think that they are more polished. No one's saying that. Like the old models are definitely less polished. It's just they look more realistic to me, or more interesting to me than the new model. I don't know.
Yeah, I would definitely be the old models. I'm just saying, like, I don't hate on somebody. If they had an option where they could do either or, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Let them have what they want.
Yeah, whatever. As long as it affects their client side, I don't care.
Yeah, you have to parse through these and be like, is anybody going to come back for more character customization?
I think someone would.
Not a slider like this, but I think if there were more character optimizations, I don't think it would be a problem.
Do you think? No, I'm saying, do you think that there would be more people that would come back? So look at it at a cost analysis, right?
Well, hold on.
The amount of cost.
We can't get into this. We're just gonna get into if we like it or if we don't.
But you have to.
Well, but
you don't.
But it'll take us forever to get through that. We're just gonna go if we like it or not. So
I'm going on if this game is gonna be better or worse because of it.
Yeah.
Not any monetary, because all of these things will be shot down.
Like, do you think anybody that wouldn't play the game would play the game because of
we're not getting into that though. We're not.
The thing is yes, I do.
Yes,
well,
I think more people would.
I think that I don't know statistically how many, but I'm sure at least one more person.
You could have like 7 new quests and people would play it.
Especially the ERP players would be really into these customization options. They would definitely.
As long as they get their own server out to play on them.
Yeah, we're just talking about what we like and what we don't, and I don't like it. I don't want to do it.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
All right, and then new raids like Karazhan
cost analysis makes no sense for new raids.
Dragon Isles,
they can't even build. They can't even build raids for retail.
Yeah, let's squash this one really quick by saying, posing a question. Do you guys trust the current development team to know what the fuck they're going to do with any new content?
No, I could see them putting in level 60 versions of the raids they've created throughout. I could see that. The ones that make sense. I could see them making level 60 versions of every dungeon in the game, Scarlet Monastery, yada yada. They've done that. I could see them tweaking that
level 60 raid versions,
to make it work.
Right?
Or no, just level 60 versions of the dungeon, Scarlet Monastery, blah blah blah.
Yeah, but this is new raids.
Yeah,
they're saying like heroics, basically.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I mean, I could see them.
I think that would be awesome if there was heroic Mardon or heroic Scarlet Monastery. That would be freaking badass.
Yeah, I think in general, along with other changes, I'm totally cool with new raids, but it's exactly like you said. For Classic Fresh, please don't put any new raids in there. If in 10 years we have some Classic Plus where it's supposed to run longer than a year, I'm down for new raids. I got a new design team. They're making new raids. It's Classic Plus. Totally fine. But like a Fresh within the next year or so should not be trying to take on this kind of new content where it's going to be horrible.
Yeah, we need quality content, right? Not just content. And I think that's the difference. Now, in an idealistic world, new raids in Classic may get me to go back, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would entice me.
Yeah,
but again, I'm already a subscriber.
The raids in retail, from what I've heard, are the shining spot of what retail turned into. The raids were good. From what I've heard. I didn't play past.
But we've heard that from retailers.
Well, I like the dungeons a lot. I thought the dungeons were a lot of fun, but they're very different games. It was like going through a greater rift on Diablo rather than playing WoW, where WoW is a little slower. You're doing these pulls, unless you're speedrunning or something. That retail is much more like, let's just run and smash everything. We're just just killing stuff with these overpowered abilities.
Do the retail developers understand the difference between the retail
Mel,
composition
we gotta keep going.
Okay.
We've got a lot of these.
I mean, the Classic team right now is not equipped for this. So
I don't think so either. All right, so harder fights on older content, more mechanics. Let's just skip this one because I think other changes would make it harder. So let's just skip
my whole
this
thing
one.
with anything adding adding new mechanics. How do you do that? Right?
Yeah,
it's such a huge pile of can of worms. I don't know, man. I just don't see them putting that much effort into this. I don't.
So
I just honestly, my thoughts on this. I'm sorry, I have thoughts, Bob. You can't give me the glaring eyes every time I talk.
Anything.
I know, but your eyes told me everything.
I was looking down vapid.
My thoughts on this are that harder fights are older content, more mechanics is not more mechanics. I think you need to make mechanics percentage based instead of time based, because how many of us actually encountered
and
mechanics?
Stuff like that? Yeah, they could do that stuff
with
like that. That's
so many bosses.
That's a good point. As long as it's easy, stuff like that, I'm fine with. As long as it's changing something from one thing to another. But if you're going to be
how you experienced it before, right? Because a fight that took us 1 minute in Classic took us 10 minutes in Vanilla. Right. And so we encountered a lot more of the mechanics in Vanilla than we did in Classic. So
I want to see the mechanics that exist. We skipped so many mechanics in actual or in Classic Vanilla. I'm totally fine with.
That's in the realm of possibility for sure. I could see them doing something like that. But if you're like, oh, Ragnaros now flies or something, come on.
No.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want new mechanics. I did the Castle Nathra raid entirely through. It was hard, and the mechanics are so convoluted, and it was fun, but it is just not Classic WoW. If they were gonna add mechanics, I don't need these kind of crazy pick up these devices and use them over here to rebuild the machine to kill Ragnarok.
The floor drops from underneath you.
We're gonna have a rough enough time throwing the freaking football here in phase 2.
And let's not forget, if there's no world buffs, things are gonna be a lot harder already.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, true. Yeah. That's why I said let's just
Yeah.
So, okay, so the next one is no world buffs in raid. Totally for it.
Yeah, it's big.
100%.
Here's my thing on this. I do think they should have a pristine option. This will never happen, but I do think that if you had one server per realm that kept world buffs in, and all the sweaties can go there, I do think that would be a lot of fun
for the
like, watching.
people like Sarth that really feel that it's like something that they need. You know?
Yeah, they'll never do it. Like they'll never make 2 different server options. But I think like there is a substantial amount of people that do like world buffs, and I think we
Why not though? Like, how hard would that be?
A big part of the population that like them. Like I thought, like I always thought, like it was just like nobody wants them, but there is a big population of people that like them. I think it's a smaller population.
Yeah, it's a smaller one for sure,
but it's definitely a population.
Well, as a warrior, I would have been upset if they just straight removed them. So like I can see that.
Well,
as a position.
I would be.
It was a lot of fun to have them. It just wasn't fun at all.
Yeah.
Once I was in raid, I had fun.
Okay, but you realize removing world buffs changes the entire class
exactly
dynamic and strength, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that warriors benefited a lot from world buffs, and that would change the type of raid you would do, which I think would help give Classic Fresh a little bit different of a feel than
like here's an example. Like this is based on actual numbers, and this is based from Fight Club. This is not something I'm making up. Without world buffs, full prot tanking is actually BIS, right? So that right there is to me like worth it. Like that's awesome, right? Like that's cool that you have a warrior with a shield on tanking. Like wow, like you know what I mean? Like that's right there is super interesting. So I think that's
and it changes.
Yeah.
You don't have 12 warriors in your 40-man raid group, right? Like you have a lot more warlocks and mages and hunters and maybe not hunters. No, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe not. I don't know. But
I like that about current tanking with warrior in TBC. I don't mean current, but in TBC where it's like a lot of people they're desperate. They're trying to find like, can I dual wield? Can I do this? Like, how can I get more threat, do more DPS? But everyone who's like having threat problems on warrior, they just have to hit their buttons better, and they'll do a ton of threat. And I feel like that's prot in vanilla as well too, where it's like you don't need to focus on your damage, just hit all your prop buttons, and they generate base amounts of threat that are very good.
And I still think single target like warriors are really good.
Yeah,
warriors right now are very good. Yeah.
So, okay, the next one is no debuff limit at all, and I love it. Like, no world buffs and no debuff limit. And then here, I'm going to pull something from later, just because I think these 3 really spoke to me, is no world buffs, no debuff limit at all, and then consumes rework to be like TBC, where you can't use warriors can't have
a rainbow of like potions on
9 different things. Like that would significantly change up the 40-man raid comp, and it'd be cool. What do you guys think about that?
It would. Like an enhancement shaman would be viable right away. Like I mean, it wouldn't be top DPS, but the fact that the enhancement shaman could use their storm strike ability, like that's huge. Boomkins being able to use their dots, warlocks being able to full dot, like all these things.
Yeah. Is this so no debuff? Is there still a buff limit?
Oh, on the character? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Probably, but if they rework consumes, it wouldn't really matter, right? So if they rework consumes
and no world buffs,
no world buffs
and no world buffs
consumes.
Yeah, I just remember like druids couldn't, do all of their spells. Like you couldn't hot the tank because it was gonna push off their world buff. I couldn't
fix that at the end though. So right at the end of Classic, they prioritized buffs, which I think that would have been one of those things that would have been nice earlier. But it's cool.
No, I mean this is a change that I feel like was okay. It should have been like that. Let's just put it in there, right?
Well, I unfortunately feel that way about a lot of things, just because having now played TBC again, I have realized that I just enjoy TBC more than vanilla. That's sort of just where I'm at. So a lot of these are all coming from the context of like, well, I really like TBC though. Like, oh, you're gonna add more raids to Classic. Well, I'm really having fun at TV. I'm excited for the next tier. I want to see T5
well, and I
stuff.
think a lot of people are in that same boat, right?
Yeah.
And
yeah, we haven't even seen all the good raids yet in TBC.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I'm so glad though. I am so glad that they didn't release everything at once.
Yeah, me too.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad too, but I know a lot of people aren't. But you know what? Like, I'm glad. Like, I like to PvP, and I feel bad for the people that don't.
Same, dude. If you're a PvPer, you like the longer phase content. You definitely do. Yeah.
All right. So,
yeah.
Did you guys have anything else to say about those three?
They're all good to me.
All right, cool.
Yeah, they all seem good.
Rebalancing classes, especially Ret, Moonkin, and Prot Paladin.
Okay, so they tried doing this in TBC, and look, so what they did do it in TBC, and they did a great job. They gave Alliance Paladin Seal of Blood, right? That to me is the extent of how far they're going to go. Like, I don't think they're ever going to rework the talent trees or
definitely not.
Yeah.
But what you could do, I guess, is you could give the level 70 talent trees to level 60s in Classic.
And why require less points to get to the bottom or something?
No.
Something like Paladin, though.
You just make it so they could go all the way down, because they changed the trees significantly for a lot of classes. Warrior got completely revamped.
Yeah.
Warlocks got completely changed. Paladins got completely changed. I mean,
yeah, but if you can't get so many points in the different trees because you're only 60 instead of 70, like.
But that's something they could do easily. Like, I'm basically just trying to keep it like real, you know, because like Melderon said, they're not going to redo talent trees.
Right. No. And I guess my concern is that, like, yes, you want Ret, Moonkin, and Paladin to be better, but the problem is that Ret, Moonkin, and Prot Paladin are all hybrid classes. And so if you make them better and give them better, from what I've heard, like mana regen, right? Because that's where they lack and that's how they can't perform. You give them better mana regen, and all of a sudden a Ret Pally is your healer as well, right? Who can just do so much damage and heal just as well. Your Moonkin is
that's
the
what
same
I was
thing.
saying. Like, the only thing I feel like you could do is just give them level 70 talent trees, and they just have 10 less points.
I mean, Ret Paladin needs Crusader Strike. That's just like, they don't have any.
Yeah, so like that's Bob's point, right? Like you could bring stuff that already came out and maybe retrofit it back, and I think that's like a shaman can dual wield in vanilla. That'd be cool, right? An enhancement shaman can dual wield instead of using a two-hander. So I think you can mess around with what's been already thought of, but to go outside the box with these guys, no, absolutely not. They're going to screw it up. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you do that, but this is
you have to understand that they all affect each other as well, right?
Yeah.
So like you're getting no world buffs. You're getting harder fights potentially with mechanics based on percentage, right?
Yeah.
And what you're basing every single one of these things on the list on is what we did in Classic, right?
Yeah.
So you're not basing this off of how percentage-based boss fights would affect everything. No world buffs would affect everything.
Yeah, Paladin will be much more in line as Ret than it was when world buffs existed, because they weren't scaling as well as everyone else off world buffs. So,
and that's the thing, is like all of these things interact with each other, and to ask for everything.
Well, I think that's his whole point. Is he basically, if all of these went in without the crazy ones, like, it would be a completely different game, to be completely different min-maxed. I mean, it would be wild.
So just make a new game.
All new Theorycraft would come out for this, I think.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
All right, well, here, we got to keep going. We're going to start going actually pretty fast, because we've got 25 minutes tops left. So,
just go in yes or no them.
Arena.
Yes, to Arena. Also, Rated Battlegrounds is there. I want Rated Battlegrounds in TBC as well.
Same.
I want Rated Battlegrounds.
I would love Rated
I think you need more than just the Battlegrounds in vanilla to make it PvP look a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I would absolutely love Rated Battlegrounds, definitely. but I would have loved rated Battlegrounds in vanilla back in 2006. So I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean arena though. I think you have to. Nope, I'm not gonna go. Keep going.
The balancing's gonna be messed up in Classic,
Oh, yeah.
right? Isn't that your?
Yeah, that's why rated Battlegrounds I think would be so much cooler. And I mean, I think rated Battlegrounds would be cooler at TBC.
Okay, you think rated Battlegrounds and arena, you want that so bad, but think about how much you spent on consumes, how much you spent in raid, and do you really want rated Battlegrounds, or do you just want that because we've already done it and you want to go back and just do rated Battlegrounds?
If it was up to me, like consumes wouldn't, like you wouldn't be able to use anything that you can't use in arena in BGs.
Or BGs. Yeah, I agree with that.
I would just love that because like when I have a stupid druid using lips and everything else to like, get to win in Warsong Gulch, I'm like,
so in RBGs and retail, is there a limitation on consumes like there is in arena? I really didn't play RBGs.
Yeah,
at all.
Yep, I
nope,
know.
no idea.
Don't know. Oh, shoot, yeah,
never
so
done.
I think it's for normal BGs. Let whatever, like who cares? It's normal BGs, but I think for rated BGs, if you brought up in the vanilla, you'd have to have a consumable.
Agreed.
Thing. Yeah,
totally.
Okay, so no respec cost.
Oh, whatever. I don't care about that.
I don't really care. If
just give dual spec.
Yeah,
if you're making consumes,
if you're gonna do arenas and rated BGs, just give dual spec. Don't do no respec costs because actually I don't care.
It's really the same thing. I mean, like the only thing I really don't like of dual spec is I don't like your ability to change your spec in a raid. I think that's
right.
Agreed.
Yeah, just
Agreed.
give me presets because anytime I change to prot on Blaze and Bob, I have to change all of my buttons. Just let me have a preset so I could just be like, okay, changing. I mean that's
it's more so like the other day I respect my freaking druid to PvP spec from PvE spec, and I clicked one wrong button and I was like, is this worth 50 gold to change? Because it ruins a lot. But I'm just doing Battlegrounds. So
bring that thing in where you like the sheet before you select the balance.
That's what we need.
Yeah.
How many times?
Yeah.
That's all I want.
Sword spec when I'm mace spec and stuff.
Yeah. It pops up and it's like, hey, you've never picked this spec before. Are you sure?
No. I'm saying left click if you want it, right click it if you want to take it away. Like, I don't understand how that is so hard. Like, why is it that once I click it, it's committed?
Yeah, I think in retail it actually checks.
It does.
Retail, you have to double.
Well, retail now it's a whole different thing. But like, I think even in Kata, before they got rid of the talent trees, at some point they did bring in like a check thing where you like check to make sure. Yeah.
All right. I think the next one only psychopaths would disagree with, but no more old Honor 6 like system rank 14 grind. Get it out the door. Like just have them just buy gear.
Like remove phase 2 from the classic.
Oh
wow.
All right, Mel, you're getting off topic here.
No, I'm not kidding. Like honor system, I am on topic.
Okay. You're saying BGs come out before like
I agree. BGs come out with
yes,
we just have BGs and honor come out at the same time.
Agreed.
Like
the only thing I don't like about getting rid of the rank 14 grind is like what's the like I know there's no skill involved and I know it's time commitment, but I'm just wondering like could you make it less? Like do you have to get rid of the whole thing? I don't know. Like I'm just wondering.
Well, could you do both? Could you tie the gear to honor points, but then still have a title system for your rank 14?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just don't understand. Sure. Like, there's no honor system rank 14 grind. Why do we care? Like,
well, I think they would still be some honor.
Here, guys. Title tied to rated Battlegrounds. Boom, done. Bada bing, bada boom.
Oh yeah, title tied to your arena rating or your rated Battleground rating. Yeah, I can see that. Yep. Yeah. Okay. How would you get gear though? Just based on honor? Or you purchase it with honor?
I mean, I think that's a pretty good system. The only problem I have is that it costs the items cost too much for the amount gained per BG. That's my only problem with it.
Yeah.
What about guild banks?
Yeah, why not?
Yep.
Yeah, why not? Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guild banks should have ever existed. It should have existed with 40-man raids, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think personally, I don't know.
Although I don't think this is like a I don't think this is like a required change for people to come back to Classic.
No,
personally,
Yeah, but it's a
but
quality of
it
life.
should exist. Yes.
Mount tabs. Why? There's not a whole ton of mounts.
To save
Classic?
inventory space, I guess.
Yeah,
is getting
you have
that.
to have them all.
It
in
is
your
annoying
inventory.
that they're in my bags, and I have
Yep.
to like know not to sell them. Like that's fine.
I'm
But
fine
I
for
have
mounts,
bags.
but pets, like pets shouldn't take up a slot. That's
Like they just shouldn't take up a
yeah.
spot. It should be like the key ring, right? Like you have a key ring,
Yeah.
and you have
Mounts-
a mount ring,
Yeah.
and you have a pet ring. Like
I think that's good.
I think that no one would care about that. Like that's
yeah.
quality
Nobody's
of life
gonna
stuff. It doesn't hurt
boycott
anybody.
Classic WoW
Yeah.
because there's a mount ring.
Summoning stones, like they are in TBC.
No.
I don't know.
I'm kind of on the fence
not
on this
sure
one.
either.
Like
Warlocks do the summoning in vanilla. That's
Listen, the thing is
Add
that
more
if you
fight
put
paths.
summoning stones in, you reduce the amount of, because there's no flying mounts.
Mhm.
You have to go on these long flight paths, and that's
Yeah.
fine. But that requires a lot more planning and like communication between people that I think if you have summoning stones, you reduce. And I
Yeah,
think
I
again,
think-
you're getting closer to that reducing the
Yeah,
social aspect.
right. I think less people leave dungeon groups in vanilla because they understand how much commitment it takes to get it going. You know, it's like this
Yeah.
whole process that I don't really think I would like to see
Yeah.
go away.
Yeah.
You know, it's a really
Yeah.
cool part of the game. I
I
mean,
just
whatever.
think
If it's in, I'll
more
still play.
flight
But like,
paths.
yeah, or
More
that.
flight
Or,
paths
like,
so
add the
that they're
TBC flight
direct.
paths.
Some of those, have some of these
Yeah.
flight paths were just way too obnoxious.
Yeah,
Well,
that-
TBC flight paths or something.
And
yeah.
it's so funny. It doesn't bother me in TBC. I think probably because you can get there easy anyway. You know what I mean? Like it's just
Yeah.
like it doesn't save that much
Yeah.
time, especially if you have an epic mount. It's like
Oh, I think he means an Azeroth. Like I think like
he definitely yeah. But it's just I think like it doesn't bother me as the summoning stones don't seem overpowered in Outland because you can get every place so easy. So it's like okay, cool.
Yeah,
you
good
know?
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm more okay with the low level ones existing now in TBC just because there's less players, especially with the boost actually doing dungeons. You may as well just let them summon to the dungeon.
Yeah, true.
It's gonna take them so
Well, and
long
maybe-
to get a dungeon together.
Maybe that would be a thing, like summoning stones for under 60 dungeons or something. I don't know. I don't care.
Yeah, it's not a big one for me.
I just think it's okay, go.
The next one is just like what? New classes like DK or DH?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
No.
What are you talking about?
No.
Okay.
Yep, didn't say no. Yep.
It's not that I don't think it's an interesting idea because potentially could be, but like, how are you going to balance them? How are you going to do how are you do a level 60 Death Knight? Like, what?
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. To me.
Yeah, I mean, like they literally need to be 80 for their talent tree to even make sense. Like, it's just...
lore wise doesn't make sense. Like, it's just totally stupid. I don't know. Like, this is an idea he had that I was like, what the?
That's why I want moon hunters.
We're about
half
to get
physical,
to
half spell damage hunters. No pets. Or maybe they have an astral pet.
I still want my damn battle mage from
Make up a
start
new
of vanilla.
Yeah, battle mages are awesome. Yeah.
What about AoE looting? That's just a buff to the bots, right?
It's a buff to the bots. Yeah.
What is AoE looting?
Yeah.
In retail,
click
you loot one thing and it loots everything around you.
Yeah. It's a buff to AoE classes. Period.
I mean, I hate the 1x1 looting when I'm AoEing on my mage. But that's the only time.
Yep.
You're a mage and you
Only
get
time.
to kill 25 things at once.
Exactly.
So
The
deal
trade-off
with the
I think it feels great
inconvenience.
to be able to loot stuff like one after
So
another.
do I.
What's on this mob? What's on this mob?
When I
don't
was
know, like,
in my mage, like that was the most satisfying part of the experience, right? Like the killing and like getting them all in one place to Frost Nova and do my Blizzard was annoying. But
on
then
the 12th
going and
hour,
getting to loot them,
a room cloth and a mushroom. Haha, sick.
yeah, well,
we did it.
You're a bot.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessary for.
I mean, like you got auto loot.
Necessary. It's not necessary. It's a freaking bot tool.
Well, in retail, it's kind of necessary because you kill a lot of things. If you
don't
go
care.
to do old content, you'll kill so much that it's just like not. It just
No,
not
he's right. In
physically
retail,
possible
it
to
definitely
loot.
is like
Okay.
needed,
No,
but it's not retail.
If you don't
so.
care that much about the
Exactly.
loot, then
No,
just
you
leave it
don't.
there.
No, you just don't get it. You definitely need it, and I promise you.
Lazy, you lazy tunes.
Dude, Mel,
Well,
like,
like you wouldn't
in
make as much money per
retail,
hour.
you're like a god, like just moving around
Well,
constantly.
not in current content, but like especially if you're doing older content, like 6 expansions ago, you're gonna kill stuff. You'll kill stuff faster than it takes to loot, which is
You
just
basically
not
breathe
fun.
on stuff and it dies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's just
like
crazy.
the okay in retail, the slash fart emote actually kills dozens of people at a time.
Get out of here.
Just remove it.
Move on.
All right, so mini game content like the Dark Moon Fair and Gold Saucer.
He's talking about Final Fantasy. What? I don't
Yeah.
know. How are you gonna incorporate minigame content into the game? How are you gonna do that?
Who keeps
Yeah,
doing that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Who's
Like,
gonna sit there and develop that? Like,
yeah, there's all like we're gonna get some
No.
kind of cool mini games when we go start dailies in TBC. Like you get these bomb runs where you fly.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean,
sure.
that's already in. I don't know.
They should implement an in-game casino. They
Okay.
should. So instead of
Right.
death rolling each other, you death roll the game as a gold
I wouldn't be
stake.
opposed to it. I just don't know who's gonna develop that. Like,
Yeah, nobody
Yeah,
is.
I just.
But Blizzard wins 50.1% of the time.
Yeah.
50.1% of the time. We win 49.9. Everyone's happy and it's a gold sink.
Can I give
Okay.
a controversial opinion?
Well, we gotta
course.
keep going, Bell.
Okay.
What was the answer? Well,
Hold
I'm
on, though. Now but try to like tone it down going
Okay.
forward.
Okay. I will shut up after this. Not really. Okay, so my whole thoughts is all of these things, and maybe I should have waited till the end, but I don't know how much Bob will let me talk. So all of these things are great, sound fun, sound wonderful. I would rather the Classic team put their efforts into making a post-Wrath beer from the current WoW
Alternate
content
timeline.
and say, what if this happened, and make a better WoW retail version.
This is
Than they
definitely for
have
the end,
now.
but that would be awesome.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
that's a true dream that can never happen ever
Okay,
again, I think.
what I'm saying though is if we expend all of our resources focused on just classic WoW Fresh instead of classic TBC, classic Wrath, then we're limiting our enjoyment in the future. And I don't know if that's everybody's opinion, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean,
I
we're
mean, I have a
basically
big
talking
problem-
about this for the people that want to keep playing vanilla over and over again, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I have a big problem with a lot of these changes do require development hours that I think that Vanilla Classic had. I mean, this is a little bitterness, but we had like no development time.
We did.
during Vanilla, and
They
now
got
that
dude, the biggest slap in the face was the Chrono Boon 2 weeks before the freaking.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
Oh
really?
my
Like,
god.
Okay, but
look
you
what
know,
we could
really?
have done.
to be fair, I feel like that was a Holly thing, and I think they recruited Holly after they were like, "Oh shit, we were wrong. Classic is huge."
Yeah, but I
My
don't want to
bad."
lose that development power now to these
Correct.
items.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Okay, well, here.
That's what I was bringing up, is that I
Yeah.
just don't want to lose momentum on these changes that are for a smaller part of the population, potentially.
Mhm.
And I don't know that for sure. But
Alright.
keep going, Bob.
Yeah, so
I'll shut up.
at this point we can have a little conversation at the end, but we're gonna have to do like just the quick fire.
Yes, no.
Yeah. So basically, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna read it out. Yip's gonna go, then Mel's gonna go, then Melderon's gonna go, and then we're gonna go next. If you really have to like really hit on one of them, it's okay. But like, let's try to like quick fire the rest of them, or we're not gonna get through them because we actually have to leave because we've
Alright,
got
do it up.
prior engagements. Okay. So, Achievement system with Chase Meta account rewards. I don't know what Chase Meta account rewards is. I know what the achievement system is. Do we know what that is? Crap, I didn't even know.
I know what the achievement system is, and I'll just
Okay,
say
so yeah, let's just say
go play retail.
achievements. Okay.
Go play retail.
Yep.
I think I'm relatively okay with some achievements, only in the fact that I like that it stores some of the stuff that you've done. Like there's like outside websites that might be like you've killed all the bosses, but it's kind of cool that there's something in game that tells you if you killed all the bosses. But other than that, I'm not interested in a full achievement system.
Mel?
I say no.
I say I'm cool. Like I always liked achievements, and as long as it doesn't get too big, like that's really the only thing. But yeah, I'm kind of cool with that. I don't care, to be honest. But pre-made group finder, like in retail, WoW. Fuck you, Asmongold. That's all I got to say. What do you have to say?
Just no.
Hell no.
Use trade chat like a man.
Yeah.
Or a woman.
I mean, damn,
Sorry,
we got
or a
bulletin
woman.
board add-ons at this point. Like you can figure it out.
All
It
right.
again decreases the social aspect of the game. That's my problem.
Or
Yep.
sorry,
Yeah.
world chat. We used to use trade chat back in the day. World chat.
All right, rare spawn events in the world that are actually difficult and rewarding.
Yeah, world bosses, we have them. It exists already.
Okay. Mel?
I think you have to do something different to make them more accessible especially on larger servers, right? Like unless you're super coordinated and have the population or faction balance.
Mel, you
Hey,
get
Bob,
a
I'm sorry.
sentence.
No.
No, because world buffs are for those people who are world bosses should be for the people who are coordinated. That's the reward of getting a world boss.
Yeah, I'm saying if you're talking about just the named mobs and you want to make them a little harder and give a little bit better reward, I'm okay with that. But besides that, no.
Buff the rare spawns? Sure, why not?
Yeah. Respawn inside of instance after wipe.
No, I think that having to run back to the instance is a core part of the dungeon experience, and it makes you not want to die.
Yep.
Yes. Hell no to this.
Hell
yes, I know
no.
it's inconvenient, but you need to be punished for dying.
Yep.
Walk of shame is important.
Nerf repair costs.
I don't understand that at all. No? Sure. Like, I don't remember them being that crazy.
The only
Even
thing,
as a warrior.
the only thing I would say is just make everybody's repair cost the same as a warrior.
That's not fair, though. You have more armor.
That does nothing. No, but there's like
Easier to repair metal armor than a shredded piece of cloth. You'd have to just make the robe all over again.
True.
Yeah, it's like
I mean,
it's
I
like
feel
a
like
debuff
the
for
RP
you
people
for no
would
reason.
say that's ridiculous.
Mel,
It is harder to repair.
I really don't care either way.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, I just always thought it was silly to make plate wares like pay so much over cloth.
I think it's an
wares.
RP thing. I think it's because we upset. I think that was their idea when they designed the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I pretty much don't care. Improve threat awareness, like retail info. I guess retail tells you.
Yeah, there's like built-in threat stuff. Like you're gonna pull threat, you're gonna lose threat. All that stuff's already built in, like really easily. Obviously, no. That's like one of the core. I feel like, especially some of us like more newbie people who didn't play private servers, coming back was like, I remember like my guild leader got super mad because I had to have a threat meter and like look at my threat meter, and it's like to remove. We're already getting on the verge of removing any of that difficulty. This is
they already gave us the actual threat calculator.
Yeah, we have
to
the
work
actual
with work with meters. So we already got more than we had in vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a hell no on this. I think that that's an aspect of the game that we enjoy. So no. I tried to keep that short and sweet.
And I mean, I love it when the raid leader's like, Bob, you're getting too close. I'm like, yeah, I'm flying close to the sun.
Yeah, threat is the classic WoW mechanic. I've said this many times. Like, and you should be able to watch that on your own and have the right add-ons for that. It's part of your responsibility as a raider.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right.
Making
Higher
it easier
ceiling
just
for
makes it
professions.
ridiculous.
Yeah, higher ceiling for this is weird. I don't even.
Like,
What
the
he,
Burning
what he means
Crusade.
by this is like, so there are relevant pieces you can make from your profession that you would raid with, which again, I think it's a great idea. Development is not going to happen on that.
Yeah.
I mean, this is like one of those things that just makes the Burning Crusade, I think, more interesting. Is there are a lot of crafted items. Like, in fact, I'm wielding Deep Thunder out there, and it was kind of hard to get, along with like all the other stuff I had to pay for. So
At the same time, it makes raid content less enticing, in my opinion, right? Because as a priest and a tailor in TBC, I craft 5 of my pieces or 4, I don't know. Don't hold me to that.
I think it's
But
like
I craft a
6.
lot of my pieces, right? And I don't know, that just makes it so that I don't need the tier content and that I don't need other content.
Yeah, I don't. I don't know. I think it's kind of neat at the start of expansions to have crafted stuff that's good, but like later on, like I don't know that it's really. I don't know.
I think it's cool.
I
I think
think
it's a
TBC
cool
did it
thing.
perfectly.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
but they're not going to implement it in vanilla. I don't think. Like the fact that a blacksmith can upgrade his weapon is like that's so awesome. But again, they have to develop that in vanilla, and they won't do that as far as I'm concerned. No.
What about rebalance racials?
There we go.
If they rebalance racials, no. I mean,
I think just take some of them out. Like, I mean, like,
I
it
just don't
sucks that
understand
every
why.
warrior has to be a human. Like, that does suck. You
Okay,
know?
here we go. I would prefer them to say there is an equivalent to an alliance and a horde, right? So, say alliance undead is equivalent to a horde gnome, and
A horde gnome.
okay, an alliance gnome is equivalent to a horde undead or something, right? Where they have the same racial, right? And I get that in like theory is it ridiculous?
Yeah,
but like, let's be honest, the racials in Classic are fine.
Will the Forsaken is really good, right? Other than that, is there anyone that anyone's like super upset about?
Orc Sun Resistance is big too.
Orc Sun Resistance is big, yeah.
25% in Classic.
Yeah.
And then just like the sword mace specialization
and axe
for
on
humans.
board.
Yeah, it's just like just
Okay,
let people
but
play
how-
what they want to play. Like maybe get rid
At the
of
same
some.
time, like, how much are we going to get away from the story and the, background of WoW, where it's like, oh, you can be a human and you can use this huge two-handed mace, and nobody ever sees that in the cinematics and stuff. And I'm not a huge lore person, but I know there are a lot of lore people out there, and I do appreciate the fact that undead can breathe underwater because, hey, guess what? They don't have to breathe anyways, right? Like, I appreciate that, and I think that that's cool.
It would be hilarious if it was like it was in the very, very beginning, and like turn undead and stuff would work on
on Forsaken, yeah.
I would prefer they actually I like RPGs. I'd prefer they actually buff everyone's to just be in line with each other more. Like Escape Artist being instant cast is really awesome. Like those sort of things that make them feel like I actually really want to be a gnome for this reason. I want to be this for this reason. I think is totally fine. But yeah, for PvP, it's just you'd have to.
Right.
If there's
I think
going to
there's
be
a way to do it. I think there might be a way to balance it somewhere in the ether, but I don't think they're going to put the time towards it. Like I know I use that answer a lot, but like you're asking for like really big. Like he's asking for really big stuff here.
Yeah, I mean,
and to balance the PvP and PvE.
What Asmongold should do is take those millions and millions of dollars he has and develop a freaking game. Hire some people and develop a game because he's got some ideas for a game. Just make your own game.
Oh,
I think Asmon should have come out with 5 things that were necessary to move forward. I think 100 things is wrong.
We're going to have to skip a bunch of these. And I mean, some of them like rain weather, no combat add-ons, faster battle reses, more
I should be
flight
allowed
paths.
to rain whenever I want. I like the rain. I want it raining in WoW 24/7. Go on.
I do like raid. More flight paths, maybe hunter focus, consumable revamp. We already hit on instant mail. Yes, we would all love instant mail.
Instant mail will be fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Remove spell batching. It should have never been there.
Well,
Yeah.
he's well, it's fine. He's hitting something here that he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Okay, go.
So real quick, basically, they did remove batching at the end. They went to the at the very end of the expansion. They did something. I can't remember the hell they did. Right, but if you remove batching completely, you won't be able to do the shaman elemental mastery, and that was part of vanilla. Like like it's like you got to be really careful with that. Like there's certain things like a warrior charging warrior, like that should be able to be done. Like I don't know, like, you can't fuck with that stuff. So I think that the TBC way of doing it is fine, but
they removed.
It's a much smaller amount.
Yeah, they changed it from 400 MS to, was it 10?
Yeah, it was either 10 or 40 MS.
Yeah, something like that. Which I think is fine. That's fine. Yeah. Just leave it like it is. Yeah.
Other massive quest lines like AQ gate quests, jumping puzzles from basically Guild Wars.
I agree. I played a private server, TBC, way back in the day, and it had jumping puzzles, and I was okay with that. It was fun.
Dude, I'm kind of excited about the Simon Says stuff coming in Blades Edge Mountain for the daily quest. Yeah, I'd forgotten about him till I just thought about it randomly the other day. New zones, obviously, that's what he said. Okay. Voice acting for Armory. I would love the Armory back. I loved the Armory back in the day. So
yeah, I mean, there were a lot of modern retail problems that came with the Armory and achievements and stuff like that. But it just shows you everything that person has on them, like their gear. But it also shows like achievements and what bosses you've downed and stuff like that, which is where I think the problems came in for the most part.
Yeah, because people would require you to have the achievement to join their pug group, and it did get a little. But I mean, I just loved looking at my gear without having to log in the game. Because when you're at work, you're trying to,
you're trying to daydream.
Yeah, you're trying to jack off. You're like, okay, well, I'm looking at
work and trying to jack.
Okay, it was a bad use of words. No, but you're
agreed.
looking at your gear, and you're looking at the gear that's going to drop tonight, your raid that you're ready for, like that's fun.
Listen, aren't you trying to move us through this?
Yeah, but okay, so Armory, Melderon, do you like it?
Armory, I mean, whatever. Yeah, sure. I feel like Warcraft logs is Armory, basically, but
voice acting for more quests.
What is that?
They're gonna hire people to come on, Asmongold. What is wrong with this guy?
Can
we raise our hand if we have? Okay, do you guys have the quest where they like say it?
I'll tell you what. You know what they should do?
Instant quest text.
I know exactly what they should do. I know exactly.
Let me see if you have the same idea. Go ahead.
Can I ask this question first?
Okay, go ahead.
Who has instant quest text?
Everyone, I thought.
Everyone.
No, it starts.
Yeah, but Mel, okay, remember like Wrath, where like they started like acting out some of the quests? It was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is
like
kind
it makes
of annoying
the game is
that
better.
You have to read and it doesn't like say it. Yeah, I guess that's what he's talking about.
Yeah. Well, it's a little more on the rails, but like there's like partial like built-in in-game cinematics that aren't hard to make that like retail does and stuff, which is cool. And Final Fantasy does it. Like I watched a Final Fantasy fight, and I was like, this is way cooler than pulling a boss in WoW. Like there's like this whole thing going on, and it's like you're actually fighting this person. I'm like, this stuff does make a game cooler. I'm cool with more voice acting. They're just absolutely not going to pay for to have that done.
So
like this,
what I'm saying is. And I don't know, I don't know if we're on the same page here, but what I'm saying is there's a lot of WoW content creators that would love to be
my
in the
idea.
game.
Yep.
And we'll do it for fucking free.
For free. True. That's exactly what my idea was. Yep. Just get people from the community to do it.
Yep.
What can I do for you?
Be like, time is money.
You are not prepared. I will work hard for you, Blizzard. I will do it free. All right, force max of 55-45 on PvP servers. Logistical nightmare, but I think everybody would love that. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Keep servers clean
It
that
is
way.
Yeah.
not a logistical nightmare. It is so easy to do.
Well, we've
Just
talked.
do it.
Yeah, we've talked about the different ways you could do it. We would love you to do that. So yeah. And I don't even know what this last one means. Remove artificial friction in gameplay. Is he talking about like melee leeway or something?
I have no idea.
Yeah, we'll just skip it.
All right. Like some of these new age retail terms, like, oh, well, I'm trying to get my Maleficent Azeroth shards, and there's some friction in the gameplay while having to do Torghast. It's like, okay, let's go kill a boar, skin it. I don't know, like, let's relax here.
All right, well, guys, we have ran well
over. Can I just say my overall thoughts?
Yeah. We could give closing thoughts, and then we have to, like, super end it fast.
Okay. Overall thoughts. Some great ideas, some not so great ideas. Some great ideas that I think we can move forward with, but I don't think that classic fresh servers are the way to move forward with those. See, that was very nice, short and sweet.
Nice. Okay. Yep. Do you have any closing?
Yeah, I agree. Like, this is not it's not really a fresh. This is more of a classic plus list to me. This is like we're overhauling everything. And we're gonna add
Adderall.
Content.
Yeah.
Like if they want it, we don't want to if we don't want to do what Mel said and make a whole new expansion, then we're gonna retrofit a whole new expansion onto Classic. This is like what they would do. I agree. But all of this together, this wouldn't. I don't know. Like, if you added all this together,
It would.
I don't know what you'd be looking at.
I don't know either, dude. Melderon?
Yeah, so I think it's like I think I agree with everyone. It's an exhaustive list, and I think that it's a little bit too out of reality right now. I think that there are some things that could be easily implemented in Fresh Classic that could make it a lot more fun. And one thing he did miss is make Black Lotus drop like Fel Lotus, make it drop from high level herbs. Yep. Like that would be really, really good. If that was implemented, I think that would make it even better. These are easy fixes, right? Like easy fixes. Like the world buff thing has been done in TBC already. Like there's already a code in place to remove world buffs from raids. There's already code in place to make Black Lotus like Fel Lotus. Like use that stuff, make the game more accessible. Yeah, but just don't change it from the journey. Like that's the point. Like like don't make it too
the journey
retail.
and the social.
Yeah.
I think
the journey and the social, I think, are my keys, right? Sorry, Bob. I promise I'll let you talk. The journey and the social, I think, are my keys. And I think that this should have been, if you're saying that this is what you need for Classic Plus, you need to have 5 items. And you need to condense down to the 5 items that you think are the most necessary.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we can do that, but this is absurd.
Yeah.
Yep. And for me, really, the things that jumped out to me was the no mage boosting, the boob slider. No, I mean, no, sorry, that just came out. No, but honestly, just literally the no world buffs, consume rework, and no debuff limit, I think would really be an interesting thing to see and see what other classes could do. Like that would be enough changes to where I would be interested in seeing what that's all about. So that's my ending thing is the rest of it is all just really just a lot. Like I kind of wish
and I think
that I didn't have to go because this is such this could have been a 5-hour conversation, but unfortunately we can't.
You change 50 things though, and you have no idea what of those 50 things actually made an impact. Right? You change 5 and you can be confident that those 5 things made an impact.
Yep. All right, well, guys, we're going to skip the add-on of the week this week. Unfortunately, we have to go. I wish Planet Comic-Con wasn't here, but it is, and we have to get back to it. So don't forget to follow us on Twitter at WC Reloaded. You could also follow the Mash Those Buttons Network at the Mash Network. If you want to tell us anything or give us a long, drawn-out opinion of why our opinion is wrong, do it at WCRpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to join our Discord, you can do so by going to mash.gg/Discord. Ratings and reviews. Do it. All right, where can we find you, Ryan?
Hi, you can find me on YouTube at youtube.com/CognitivePit or on Twitter at CognitivePit, which I check daily.
Oh, really?
How about that?
Oh, nice.
How about
Do
that?
you?
Nice.
I just lied to a lot of people. Let's go.
Yeah, you did.
Mel,
Mel, where
one
can
of
we
the
find
Mels.
you?
You can find me on Twitter at Mel Overwatch. Not really, but if you like mention me, I will respond usually. You can find me on White Mane and Arielina or Mel Arena. Those are my two characters that typically Arielina plays in BGs. So come on, shout me out. Don't give Bob all the love, please. It's exhausting to live with. But yeah, that's it.
All right, and Mel.
And I just had to interrupt Bob one more time. But and sorry if I offended anybody tonight. I have nothing against retail.
Yeah, I'm sorry every day for offending people, but the good news is I don't get offended, so sorry.
My
Bob's
opinion
never
is
been
my
offended.
own.
And Melderon, where can we find you?
I don't currently make content anymore, but I do have a library of 400 plus videos. Def Camp and Melderon TV on YouTube. You can watch my brother's stream at twitch.tv/DefCamp, and I check my Twitter like bi-monthly, but it's at def_Mel TV.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here, and yeah, we'll see you next week, where we'll be talking more PvP with Snowby.
Bye.
All right, you can stop your recordings. I'm just gonna end the stream. I don't have time.
Ever tell me what to do again?
Goodbye. Thank you guys for talking. Love you guys. Floating head
Thanks.
out.